was gonna say, you got a plank. You gotta go.
Then you spin her around. That's how you pick up girls at the gym right there. Strongman is a classic test for people to find out really who the strongest person in the world is. We pull planes, we pick up cars, huge Atlas stones. My body is a machine, it's a vessel for work. If you want your car to run well, you put good fuel in it. Same with your body. I have 6 meals a day. If I don't eat enough, I get shaky, I get headaches. You know, my body is running on a level now where it's used to having good fuel. So I cut that supply off and my body just revolts. I could eat this by myself, easy. I travel around the world and lift up heavy, weird objects, and that's my job, you know? An average day, we'll do yoke walks, keg toss, you know, tire flips and Atlas stones. And basically anything gritty and hard, heavy, weird stuff around the gym, the yard, the house, the barn, you know, we pick it up, we'll move it around and see if we can. All right, this tire right here, this is 1,200 pounds. Honestly, it's a brutal tire. We call it Bubbles because we like to have like a sweet name for such a torture device right here. And I mean, I'm 6'8", 400 pounds. And it makes me look small. I am by far the strongest man on the West Coast. By far, there's no competition. Technically, at the moment right now, I'm second in America, although I am working my ass off to take first place. This is the most flattering angle I have right here, like this. It's perfect. I am the American record holder in log press overhead, and that is at 455 pounds.
Back for your head, there you go. Push it.
I can do a lot more, actually, but I just haven't had to do it in the show. This is basically what I've earned since I've been in this house. This I got in Washington. This was given to me in Russia, and this right here, this is from China.
Do you guys eat right before you come to the gym and work out?
Yeah. Right before I just got done eating a cup and a half of rice and a bunch of meat. Tommy doesn't eat though. Tommy's got the svelte, so like he tries to keep the figure. I think he starves himself and then he eats right after he works out, but then he pukes right after he eats. It looks great on him though. I mean, show him your abs, Tommy, come on. Show him the abs.
I'll compare mine to yours.
I'm good. I see, if I had the eating routine you did, I might look a little bit better. I'm gonna try it though. When you go to the gym and your body's fueled up on good foods with nutrients and protein, when you get to the point in your workout where you're working hard, you're hitting the last reps, you're burnt out, there's something else in there driving you. Instead of reaching down and there's nothing there, you've got some power left. All right, it's time to go eat. A normal trip to the grocery store, I'll go through and I'll get my vegetables. Spinach is my favorite green. If it worked for Popeye, it could work for Strongman. I'm stocking up on rice. This bag right here probably lasts me about a week, you know, if that. That's fatty meat right there, but it's all good. That's the shape of Miley Cyrus's butt. It goes down like this. Perfect. If you could go like that, that's her music video. On a typical day, I'll consume anywhere between 15 and 20,000 calories. All right, eggs. Like this right here will last me a day normally. I eat 8 to 10 eggs for breakfast. I eat boiled eggs for snacks throughout the day. So, lots of eggs. Running out of room. We gotta get a ton of meat. I'll do 2 of these for one lunch. 4 of these. Nice. Just basically gonna take all of their pork. All this turkey. And this one will be my meat for the day. Basically cleaning out the meat section.
Are you okay?
Everything's good. Yeah, I think I took all your meat over here. I get people asking me for pictures a lot. Apparently, I'm kind of like the town sideshow. You want me to put you on my shoulder?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna pick you up.
Okay.
All right. You ready? All right. No. I get paid to be the freak show. I'm fine with that, as long as I'm getting paid. But it's when people want to throw peanuts at me, then I'm like, I work. I'll be the freak show for money. In my opinion, it's just as hard to maintain a healthy diet as it is to compete in strongman. In strongman, you've got to train your body, you've got to be physically strong, and you've got to work for that. But with your diet, you've got to be mentally strong. I don't ever get anything really frozen from these aisles because all of this stuff is just basically fluff. There's no substance of it. It's just fats, carbs. It tastes great, but it's not good for you. For me to change over to eating plain, clean food, to basically trick myself into being happy with the way that I eat, it took some work in. It took some doing. I am gonna eat that, yeah.
You must be a bodybuilder.
I am a strongman.
I just came from the gym.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. See, so you basically do what I do, but you don't eat all the meat.
Well, I'm not older than you are.
No. What
Yeah.
are you, 25, 26?
Oh, God, I love this man. I'm
man.
64.
That is awesome. I really respect
Yeah.
that. That's cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Best to you.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too.
I'd hit that. All right. This is definitely the hard part about eating all this food is you gotta pay for it. I'll fill up a cart and a lot of times I'll end up spending several $100.
Total for today is $450.59.
It's a little bit much.
Yeah.
I guess it's what it takes though. Tonight, the family's gonna get together. We're gonna make my pasta prosciutto. It's got your 2 different types of noodles, 2 sauces to 2 salsas, then sausage and your beef, and it's a pretty good meal. I think I'm a great cook. I've been making this dish myself for a long time. My dad made it when I was a kid, and his dad made it for him. It seems like every time the recipe gets passed down to a new generation, it changes a little bit. So now we're grilling. Got our sausage going, got our beef going. We are rocking and rolling. The true tradition of the pasta is not the food, it's the gathering of people. Every single thing that we're doing here today, we do all the time. So Amanda does the bread, everyone else is on dessert except for Wendy makes the really good drinks. This has been done since before I was born.
I've been doing it for a very long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
So,
Since you've been around.
yes. So everyone's kind of like perfected their art and we bring it all together and that's how we mash up the food. It's the family getting together and being together. That's the whole tradition. This is my heart right here. Here you go, you guys are mama. When I compete and like to watch film and stuff, Emily sends me videotapes of the baby watching the TV screaming, go Bobby, because to them I'm Uncle Bobby. Where's that? Tell him, kiss off, fool. The bad part about cooking with a giant beard and no net is that sometimes you get hair in the water. Smells so good. I love the smell of sausage while it's cooking, It's the best smelling meat there is. It's gotta taste good and it's gotta have a high property of protein. This is a really good meal for a strongman. So, the fact that it tastes good makes it just superfood for me.
Robert doesn't actually know this, but he eats about 7 meals a day because he gets up in the middle of the night and has a snack.
My wife, she'll eat about 3/4 pound of meat a day. I'll eat 3.5 pounds.
I eat basically exactly what he eats, I just eat a lot less. So, he just eats way too many calories and too much food for me, so I eat like 1/4 of what he eats in a day.
Can an average person eat like this?
An average person could definitely eat like this, but then they wouldn't be an average person for very long. You're gonna be super chunk, do the truffle shuffle by yourself at the house. My dad's gonna be like, why do you have 2 different noodles in there? Well, you're gonna have to do this. You gotta do that. Yeah, Dad, I know. Wait till he sees this. I'll have a couple phone calls, say, you didn't cook that right. Nice and greasy. I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough room in this pot right here. We might have to pull some MacGyver stuff. Hey, Wendy, is there anything bigger than that? Okay, cool. She wanted to make me look foolish on film as best she could, and now that she has succeeded, we've got the bigger pot. This is a strongman pot right there. That is perfect. There we go. Now all that's left is to add the sauces. It looks pretty much done. All right, everybody, let's eat.
He's still not very good at cooking. Like, he can't even pull off pastaroni. So I'm actually I'm kind of impressed with this. He did blacken the sausage though.
It's delicious.
So, just had a nice hard workout. Get a bunch of good meats, good carbs right here. Eat this down, feel nice and good. Take a nap, wake up, feel like Superman. This is superfood for Superman. Excellent.
For me at the moment, my body fat percent is just under 10%, and I want to get that down to about 3% ready for show day. And I'm really pleased. Put on some good muscle, and the definition is coming through already, and I haven't started dieting yet. The food that I eat and the way I prep it is purely functional. You need to know exactly how many calories you're hitting in a day. You need to know exactly how many calories are in each meal that you're eating. I see my meal times as fuel times. My name's Renee, and I'm a professional female bodybuilder. When I'm on stage, the judges will be looking to see that I have a total package. So they want to see what your presentation is like. They want to see what your condition is like, what your fat percentage is, how thin is your skin, is your vascularity coming through, and is your body in proportion. So they're looking for symmetry. I was 32 when I started bodybuilding. A group of friends and myself went to support somebody that was competing at a show. When the heavyweight woman lined up on stage, instantaneously, I knew right then and there that that's what I wanted to do. I went from somebody who was 8 stone, so that's 56 kilos, to someone who's now 89 kilos, so just on 14 stone. In a day, I would consume about 4,500 calories. But that will slowly go up in the year according to what gains I want to get. So it could possibly go up to about 5,000 calories a day. This is when I won the amateur world title. Because of this trophy, I then was awarded my pro status, which is a very revered thing in the bodybuilding world. I've managed to do really well in my bodybuilding career, but that's just down to the consistent hard work, hard eating, and sacrificing so much. At the moment in my off season, I train at least 6 days a week. These are my friends, Sam and Will, my training partners. When we're training together, we're not friends, we're friends after training. When we're training, it's very serious, and it's a sort of love-hate relationship.
I hear Renee has a nickname.
Yes, Captain Cameron.
Why does everyone call her that?
You just do as he says, mostly.
When I do what I call my big cook, it's food that I prep up that will give me enough food for 2 weeks. I'll have 5 cabbages. Cabbages are really good fibrous carb that you need to keep your system moving and everything flowing smoothly. Could I please have 10 kilos of chicken?
Chicken breast.
Chicken breast, yes.
You want 10 kilos?
10 kilos, yeah.
Oh, right.
If you do it this way, the food's really clean, it's nutritious, it's exactly what you need in terms for your muscle building, muscle repair, and it's quick and easy. I would go through 5 kilos of rice when I do this big cook. Rice is a very good carbohydrate to have when you're bodybuilding. It's a slow release carb, and it's what we call a clean food. In a week, I have 150 eggs. I've got my meals out the freezer and I'm prepping them for the day. Then I'll add fresh eggs to each meal. I use the egg whites because they're a really, really good source of protein, really low in fat. Of course, I don't use the egg yolk because that's where all the cholesterol is and the fat.
How long have you been eating like this?
I've been eating like this now for 6 years. This is the beginning of my 7th year. It does get boring. But what you do is you see it more as fuel for your body. Because I eat every 3 hours, it really does need to be quite plain. You need to get the nutrients that you want for your body, for your muscle growth, get it into the system as quickly and efficiently as possible. To prep enough meals for 2 weeks will pretty much take 4 to 5 hours. But if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, if you had to cook every day, it's going to take you a lot longer. In my typical day, I'd have a breakfast, then 3 of these meals, a protein type meal after training, so that's 5. Then I'll have a sit-down meal at night, which I'll prepare separately, so it's more exciting. And then a protein meal just before bed. There aren't very many professional female bodybuilders in the UK. I think there's at least 3, possibly 4, that are still currently competing.
For female is such a hard sport for female, even for male, but for female is even harder because of the natural of the body.
Yeah, it's a lot harder for a female to pack muscle on because we have naturally occurring estrogen. So you've got to work even harder than most guys.
A diet and training comes first before anything else. I believe Renee is the best female bodybuilder in the UK. She did work and she trained really hard. I'm really proud of her as a friend.
My personal experience is that it has been really difficult to get to the top. You have to be prepared to sacrifice a lot. I've sacrificed going away on holiday with family. I've sacrificed celebrating my birthday. I mean, there's been years and years in a row where I've not spent time with family over festive holidays for the very reason that I'm dieting for a show. Not being in a relationship, that's been a big sacrifice because I need to be, in a way, quite greedy with my time, quite selfish, and I need to dedicate any time that I do have to the sport. So in each one of these bags, I've got 130 grams of rice and 130 grams of chicken, and the cabbage will be 50 grams. That will be frozen. In the morning when I prep my food, I will empty the bags into a blender, add water, and blend it to a consistency that you can drink it. It tastes like chicken soup gone a bit wrong. But, you know, I'm so used to the taste. It is very bland and it can smell a little bit, but it's really good for you. You gotta ask yourself why you're doing it. So I imagine myself on stage. I imagine the end result. What is it that I want? I want to build this physique that I can be proud of. I do get a lot of male attention. I have a huge fan base. I get a lot of mail all the time from male admirers, and in the street as well. You get guys in the street whistling at you or saying, wow, you know, you look absolutely great. You've got a great set of legs, or, you know, really great ass. So, you know, you do get comments like that, very random. I absolutely love coming to a supplement store. It's like a candy shop to me. There's just so much to choose from. You just want to try everything. What your goals are will determine what products you take. For me personally, when I'm off season, I would use something like a mass gainer. Okay, fantastic for putting on some good muscle mass. But then in my competition season, I would use something with less carbohydrate in. So just those small differences can make a huge impact on your physique. These are my morning tablets. These are my post-workout tablets. And these would be my bedtime tablets. That is a lot of tablets every day, but all of these play a specific role, and they're taken at very specific times. You put your body through a lot of stress when you train at the level that I'm training at. So these are just going to ensure that you're keeping yourself as healthy as you possibly can. Talking about the use of steroids in the sport of bodybuilding can be quite a tricky subject. It's something that you'll find most athletes won't discuss too much in much detail. I think everyone knows that this sort of thing does go on in the sport, but not just the sport of bodybuilding, it's every sport. You hear of Tour de France cyclists, you hear of sprint runners, track runners. This all does go on.
Are you allowed to do steroids to like a certain extent?
The federations would like to say that we don't. I will absolutely always keep my muscles or do my best for as long as possible. I think with this sport, what's great is that I've seen some elderly people in their 60s, even in their 70s, still training, still doing bodybuilding. I'll be walking along my Zimmer frame doing a few curls at the post office. But absolutely, I'll always keep training.
The simple answer for why I'm like a well-known professional climber is the fact that the type of climbing that I like to do, which is soloing things like climbing without a rope, is like beautiful and easily understood. It's the type of thing that people see and they're like, that is rad, even if they don't know anything about climbing. I spend the majority of my time in my van, traveling on the road, you know, like camping in different climbing areas. Yeah, I mean, climbing is pretty much all I do. Yeah, all the time. People use dirtbag just to mean somebody who's like, I don't know, dirty, like living on the road, climbing all the time, like semi-homeless, but climbing a lot.
We're headed to that cave up there. Very exciting. I'm gonna say they're with you.
I'm gonna say they're with you. I'm gonna be like the Who's shooting documentary on the best handicap climber in the world.
James is a homeless friend of mine. Like, I've known him for a decade. We've climbed together forever, like in various places around the world. He's just like another climber that's on the road. James has like a fused ankle and a fused back and a bunch of random things like that. He took like a 100-foot ground fall like a decade ago. And so he got like put back together. Yeah, pretty hardcore.
People were always like, you've had a second chance at life. Like, what are you gonna do with it? I was always like, well, I'm gonna do exactly what I was doing before. Maybe slightly better. I'm gonna not work, I'm gonna climb as much as possible, and that's about it. If you don't have talent, you gotta have tenacity.
We've been climbing in Maple like 2 on, 1 off for the last like 9-10 days or something.
Maple is a place that you would never solo.
You'd never climb without a rope.
Because there's like, yeah, you would never climb without a rope because there's like a very high probability of the rocks pulling out of the wall.
I'm about to warm up. We just start over on the side on kind of easier routes to stretch out and get warm. And then we'll move on to like the real projects in the middle of the cave.
I'm preparing to go to Angola in 10 days. The Angola expedition is more about exploration, developing new climbing, sort of seeing new places on the west coast of Africa. I'm also supporting a project through the Honnold Foundation, which is like a nonprofit that I run. And through the Honnold Foundation, we're supporting a solar lighting project.
Cool, nice. That was pretty good.
That was pretty legit.
Yeah.
Nice. This is one of many of my first snacks.
Like, so I climb something, and now I'm resting, and we're waiting for James to climb something, so it's like, makes sense to snack. So you never get like hungry.
Good, James, come on. Get it. Come on, hold it. Hold it, come on, James. Come on.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to eat like super heavy, like a bacon, egg, sausage fest right now and then try to climb. You'd be all like, oh. Though it's kind of true that you wouldn't want that stuff in general, you know, because it's just gross. I've been vegetarian for 2.5 years or so.
Okay, climb in, James.
Okay, climb up, dude.
I just feel like people should be more mindful of the impact that their diet has. Actually, I mean, for that matter, I've never drank alcohol either, because I've never liked it. I often like to say that I'm basically Mormon, except for, wait, I forget what I like to say, God damn it. But yeah, basically I'm Mormon except for the God thing, you know. in terms of clean living and like, you know, being wholesome. But I just think all the religious stuff is retarded. Okay, so take me out, please, James.
Yep, got you, dude.
I have no idea what I'll be eating in Angola. I might actually take, you know, 15 pounds of like bars and powders and like random nutritional type snacks, just in an effort to like maintain a high level of fitness while I'm there, so when I get back, I can still climb well. I started climbing when I was 10 years old or so, climbing in a gym in Sacramento. As a kid, I always loved climbing on things like trees and buildings, and you know, I did gymnastics for like a year just recreationally, and my parents just knew that I loved climbing on things. I climbed on the roof. I was never like a bad climber, but I was never a great climber either, because there are a lot of other climbers who were much, much stronger than me, who started as kids and were like instantly freakishly strong, like they just have like a natural gift, and that was never me. I just loved climbing, and I've been climbing all the time ever since. So I've like naturally gotten better at it, but I've never been like gifted, you know? That's all right.
Oh yeah, dinner time.
I'm looking through my pantry to see, oh perfect, I have some mac and cheese. I'm gonna make mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is so easy. I'm a very lazy cook.
I wish these were cookies.
It's not really like PC to talk about diet and weight and all that stuff with climbing, but obviously the heavier you are, the harder it is to pull yourself up something. And there's like a healthy middle ground where you have a healthy weight, you have energy, you feel good, and like it's good for your long-term health. But then, I mean, you want to stay as on the skinniest side of that as possible, really. This is probably like 1,000 calories, maybe.
Aren't you supposed to be on a 2,000 calorie diet?
No. Like, we're both on like 3,000 calorie diets for sure. But we're also not working out in an extraordinary way either. I mean, we're certainly not doing any more like physical output than like a peasant does in normal day life.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing with like the vegetarian diet. People are like, oh my God, how do you get your protein? How do you stay fit or whatever? And you're like, dude, the majority of the world operates on a vegetarian diet because they're poor. And it's like, they basically are like relatively healthy, lean folks. And so that's, you know, like we're doing the same. These little fucking things are outrageous. I was thinking about that, like elite gymnasts, like Olympic gymnasts are surely dieting at like a crazy level, and it's probably taking years off their life. But, you know, if they're willing to win an Olympic gold and like shave a few years off the end, I'm like, that's certainly their call. All right, night.
Yeah, sleep well, dear.
Yeah, good night, honey. See you in the morning. Right now we're in my van on my friend's driveway. Or I like to say we're in my living room. Or my kitchen, depending how you look at it. I just poured the remnants of my muesli. Flax meal. Raspberries are like my favorite food. And then what's left of the almond milk, which hopefully hasn't gone off. Probably hasn't. No, I've never really had refrigeration. Though honestly, it doesn't really matter, and it just goes to show that people are way too worried about refrigerating things. People often ask about living in the van, and it's not that I want to live in a car. I mean, if I could live in like a really nice house and climb all the time, I would. But in order to be out at these mountains, you know, to climb in different national parks all year round, to be able to travel, be mobile, you know, like you have to live in a van. And so the van is like a really nice middle ground where it's like, well, it's not a nice house, but it's pretty nice, and I get to do the thing that I love to do all the time. This is emptying my pee bottle, or as I prefer to consider, fertilizing the tree. Though I try to vary all the different spots in the yard that I fertilize because I don't want to like kill his lawn in one place. Oh, living in the van's not that bad with the ladies. I mean, you know, it's not great, but you know, for the right kind of lady, they like the adventure. I just need adventurous ladies. That's the kind you want anyway. Is your breakfast just that apple?
Yeah. It's really nice here.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes out of town and you're like on top of 11,000 foot peaks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This morning I'm going to go with my friend James up the South Ridge of Superior, which is like a peak above town. It's like a really accessible like scrambling / hike jog thing up a mountain. I threw in an extra gel for James. I have my phone in here. We have a little bit of water and we're like ready to go. Okay, Ray?
Yeah.
Let's go. And we're off. Like a herd of turtles. Is this actually like the pace we start at?
What? Oh yeah, something like this.
Yeah, okay, casual. The South Ridge Superior is sort of like a classic alpine scramble. It's just like blocky rocks, you know, a little bit of dirt here and there, trees, a tiny bit of climbing, like little steps that you have to climb over. But like, you know, extremely steep, like 3,000 feet of vertical gain in like a mile or something, maybe a mile and a half max.
I guess any day you're not climbing is a rest day.
The big thing that we're resting is like our skin and like tendons in your arms and like all these little things that like you don't really use for anything else. So even if you go out and get like worked like running around in the mountains, you're still like, well, at least my hands feel better.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Fuck. 105. 30.
I think my heart's gonna explode.
My weight actually has never fluctuated that much. There are a lot of other climbers who have like gone heavier and lighter and like really starved themselves and dropped a bunch of weight. And I've like never really dropped weight specifically for a climbing project, but that's partially because the climbing that I do is so diverse, because I go from like running up mountains to like sport climbing to bouldering to like all these different sub-disciplines of climbing. And so to be able to do all of them at roughly the same time, you kind of need to have just like a middle ground healthy body weight. Are you excited about this?
Oh yeah.
This looks fucking disgusting.
Dude, I've got a whole boner for that growth fit.
It's not, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. Alright. It's food. That's good.
Maybe it's more appropriate to call it fuel.
Yeah.
It's like pouring coal into the fire.
Yeah.
It's not exactly like, it's not delightful. But.
Yeah, but you're psyched for the coal. It tastes like coal.
I'm probably gonna just take off and run in a minute.
Okay.
See what I can do down. Yeah, so we are leaving the house on our way to Maple via grocery store and a random office to pick up some nutrition stuff. I've gotten like more and more anal about looking at nutrition facts and like ingredients and just like, you know, choosing things that don't have too much extra stuff added.
I'm starting to get angry. I want like 3 muffins and some cookies. Lots of cookies. And then a fair amount of judgment from Alex. Dude, it's heinous. You talk so much shit.
Check out James's old woman parking. Though James is a great example of the saying, ignorance is bliss. You know, because he's so happy. No idea. Yeah, look at the gap in his parking. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Apple, avocado, banana, these little packets of almond butter I really like. I got a muffin, and then there's a cookie. I already ate half because I'm hungry. Because the first thing you need in the morning is a fucking cookie. And if you don't, you're Alex Honnold and you're crazy.
So pretty much my whole childhood and into my early 20s maybe, I had like a pretty bad diet, ton of Cheerios. I mean, my family, it's funny because my family has all these stories of like, oh, as a kid, you wouldn't eat this, you wouldn't eat that, you were so picky, you wouldn't do this or that. You know, like now that I've like traveled in Africa and like all these random places and eaten like all kinds of crazy food, I come back to my family and I'm like, you guys made fun of me for being a weirdo. You don't like the texture of hummus, so you're not gonna have any, you know, you're like, really? Like, what the heck? So this is where the reading nutrition facts is like really annoying because I'm now gonna stand here for 5 minutes looking at each of these. Because like the Justin's is mildly annoying because it has palm oil. This stuff is like, you know, when I'm buying nut butter, I want it to just have the nut. It's like annoying when it also has like palm oil, sugar, salt, whatever. Well, you're like, why add a bunch of stuff? It's like you just want.
You said
Just
nut.
wants the nut.
Yeah, you just want the nut, dude.
Yeah, well, you know. So we're headed to Go Gnarly, which is like a nutrition supplement type company, and I don't know. They sort of just offered me some product, and so I figured I'd check it out. Where are we? I feel like we're at like Citibank corporate office or something.
Right. Well, this is our little NAR room.
NAR room. Whoa.
So yeah, as a matter of fact, look at this. This is our little poster you signed like a year ago or whatever.
Yeah,
when it was.
totally.
So
that's my poster on the wall. That's pretty classic.
Our whole goal with that was to make it really easy on the stomach. So we used a grass-fed way, no hormones, no antibiotics, no artificial ingredients.
Yeah.
And then we also use digestive enzymes.
Oh, so this isn't just pure powder?
Powder and water, that's all it is.
Go for it.
Alright.
You gonna make it
Gnarly
toast or
cheers?
something?
No, it's just
Gnarly.
cheers. Just, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Not too bad, right?
It does go down easy. You know, there's certainly a time and a place for like powders and like protein powder supplements. I mean, like, I don't know. I think there's some value to it, and so I'm totally curious to try it more and dabble a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. Actually, I mean, one of these tubs would be a perfect thing to take to Angola, honestly, because that's like ideal, where it's hard to get proper nutrition, but you can probably get water at least, and so you can just like mix up like wholesome little things to make sure you don't waste away. Actually, I do think that some of the climbing in Angola is on conglomerate, which is the same type of rock that I'm climbing on in Maple, so some of it might be kind of similar. This is the second half of breakfast, or second breakfast. I mean, how much of a hobbit you feel like. So this is some muesli, some hemp hearts, raspberries, cinnamon, and quinoa milk. It's a bit of an experiment, but it seems pretty wholesome.
Well, don't think that I'm full of myself. These are honest words I speak. I just think you better find a quiet corner of a couch to sit and think, and what you're gonna come up with through all your years of pondering won't ever add up to me.
There are tons of climbers who are much stronger than me and can climb harder routes and can climb maybe a little faster or whatever. I mean, there are all these different subdisciplines, and there are tons of people who are way better than me at like most parts of climbing. But like, I'm pretty good all around, and I've just done a bunch of things that for whatever reason, you know, garnered mainstream attention. I donate probably 1/3 of my income to the Honnold Foundation, which then goes to like environmental nonprofit stuff, which honestly is a big part of why I set up the Honnold Foundation. Was because it made me feel better about embracing the whole like fame side of climbing, you know. But if I can do 2 days of work that earns enough money that I can donate it through the foundation and like positively affect thousands of people, and you're like, that's pretty rad. Like, I'd like to think that when I die, the world will not be a worse place because of me.
Let's go.
My name is Bianca. I am 4-time world sumo champion. Every day I eat lot healthy food to stay strong. In professional sumo, after the practice, we eat rice and, like beef fry or some fish. But our main dish is like chanko nabe. Yeah, a lot of vegetables, onion, green onion, ginger, mushrooms, eggs, a lot of meats, fish too. The meat has a lot of calories, right? Right? So that means I think we eat a lot, so that means more than 10,000 calories. If you want to be a sumo wrestler, they has to try too hard to like practice, And then after that, body's gonna be tired, right? And then they has to eat healthy and taking a lot of protein. So chanko nabe is the right things to eat. If they're just practicing a little bit and they're eating junk food, there's no balance on the body. So chanko makes me stronger. I used to make the chanko nabe every day in Japan for 5 years. I made chanko 1,800 to 2,000 times in my life. I was born in Mongolia, and then when I was 16, I moved in Japan for long. I started doing professional sumo. When I was 16, from Japan, the grand champion Onokuni came to the Mongolia, and then he picked one guy that was me. And when I went to Japan, I was like, everything's new for me. So, 一番最初に稽古場に入って朝日本に着いて次の日ね朝にもう稽古場に行ったんだけどもう2人の力士がもう頭で立ち上がって歯がねこの頭の上に刺さったこともあるしもう最初見た時びっくりしてもう早く始めないとダメだなこれと思いました。Couple 3 weeks, and then I started winning some matches, and I feel very good about it. And then I liked that sport. And actually I loved it. In professional sumo, the grand champion is like God. I love sumo. ちゃんこ鍋っていろんな野菜どんないっぱい野菜入れてもいいですからね。Ginger is sugar in Japanese. Japan. 사랑가. Never stop eating a I never stop eating chanko because I love it. Probably whole my life. I'm gonna eat chanko. Yeah, it's giving me a lot of protein and vitamin. When you're doing practice long time, you lose a lot of sweat, right? That's why you lose a lot of power, vitamin from your body. So you need for vitamins from the chanko. Americans like the chicken soup, right? But chanko nabe is different. It's a fish broth. For this type of chanko, meatball is the key. I mix that meat and vegetables and eggs, mixed everything together and then make the meatballs. Squeeze it, spoon, boom, that's it. You got that? Chigura-san, もうできましたよ。Ready? So hungry right now. いただきます。サラダだけ食べるとね、サラダ食べるかちゃんこ鍋食べるかっつったらもうちゃんこ鍋食べた方がもうサラダよりも何倍以上の栄養がね体に入るんですよね。Oh, I'm full right now. I have to go to nap. After the nap, when I wakes up, I was like feels like so stronger. I can feel that every day. After the practice, eat and they sleep and they wake up. Oh my God, I get stronger. We're using this spot for the sumo practice. So now we're doing for seminar for 3 days in a row. A lot of wrestlers from all of the state in Canada. I'm trying to teach all of the guys. There was like 20 people.
I'm Sonia. This is my husband here, the fuzzy guy. We're from Sacramento, so we drove up to work with Biamba and have a great time with the group.
I'm trying to just get better and better every day. So with that, I came to this camp, which Biamba put on, so that way I can learn every other technique, little things that I'm doing right or doing wrong, and I can also bring it back to my club.
He's a world champion, but I had to wrestle with him a bit, and it's been really good.
We'll just get going. We're going to do basically what we did yesterday for the intro. A couple people missed the intro. Sorry. That's okay. Didn't say any names. The chanko will be at 7:45, and Shinsengumi will do the after slave. There are about Shinsengumi, yeah.
I tend to stick to a diet that's high protein, high good beneficial fats. So I'm trying to continuously fuel.
Usually have about maybe an 8-egg omelet, something like that. Load in maybe 6 to 8 sausages. Maybe have 3-4 glasses of milk. Anything laying around, I'll eat.
Chocolate nabe is fantastic.
I've never had it, so it's gonna be a first time experience.
Are you coming tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Really fun to teach for somebody. So I wanna share for my experience for everybody.
You're too late on the charge. You have to be much faster. Okay.
Receive, you receive.
Put your hands cannon.
They want to learn. Yeah, I'm very happy to teach them, you know. Anyway, after the practice, you know, I'm ready to eat chanko for recover. Oh, let's go. I'm hungry. I make best chanko in this country, but tonight we are all going to the Shinsengumi.
Basically, we're planning to order pots of chanko nabe. Is that okay with everybody?
Chanko. Chanko. There you go. Chanko. There you go.
Let me test first. It's delicious. Hold on. I give it to you. Not about taste. It's giving you good vitamins and protein, you know.
Very good.
Yeah, like silly rich.
First time, and it's squishy and delightful.
I'm from Louisiana, so we do a lot of gumbos and stuff, and to be honest with you, it reminds me of like that down-home type cooking.
Really, really moist vegetables. And that spice to it. That cabbage is phenomenal with that spice. You know, obviously after you've spent a whole day trying to work yourself for 3 hours and then having to sit and wait an hour for dinner to come here, when you get something this big coming, you have all that anticipation, all that exhaustion from earlier in the day, and it was worth it completely 100%.
I told you history.
He said his body fat, when he was about 330 pounds, his body fat was 11%.
Wow.
When I was 18 years old, yeah.
Amazing.
Well, now it's getting a little bit bigger. But
Thank you.
Who's this one? Finish it, come on. Japanese people's working so hard putting it in the ground. So respect that. You have to eat everything, okay?
Thank you, man.
Yeah. But 全てを全部ね、無駄にしないで食べることが一番大事。なんでかって言ったら、全部栄養もの入ってるから。Very helpful too. Not too much, but how's the chanko? Everyone's happy. The National is coming up, and the US Sumo Open is coming up too. So, good luck for everybody, you know. Yay! And then we have to practice tomorrow too. Remember? So we had a good practice. We got enough food. I gotta go to a nap. So see you in US Sumo Open.
When I'm dancing ballet, I'm completely mentally consumed in it. It requires so much focus. It's mentally and physically consuming, but I think that's really part of what I love about it, that you're completely in the zone. So am I an athlete? Yes. But the athleticism is a means to an end for the ultimate artistic goal. I'm a dancer with the Corps de Ballet of American Contemporary Ballet. I'm in the process of preparing for this season, so I've been training to get back to my performance weight. I am going to eat a pre-breakfast. So I like to have a corn dog first thing in the morning that I'll eat while I do my stretches. These are actually really delicious and really filling. And I don't think it's actually that unhealthy. It's a turkey corn dog. The music I listen to will depend on my mood. Sometimes I'll wake up and put on classical and do a slow warm up out here. And then other times I'll either listen to Taylor Swift or like an 80s mix. So right now I'm rolling out my muscles. I'm sore, and so I'm rolling out kind of the sides of my hips, which are tight. And then I'll roll out my IT bands and my quads. And sometimes I roll out my back too. This next thing I do looks a little bit silly, but balancing on one foot with your eyes closed is surprisingly hard. And supposedly this helps build your ankle's ability to correct itself. I injured this foot, and so it has a lot more difficulty. Okay, now I'm gonna eat some more. So I get these stuffed peppers with turkey and rice. And so that's $2.40 for one of them. Isn't this what everyone eats for breakfast? So many people ask me what I eat, and people ask me how to lose weight. Sometimes I don't like it when I say, oh, just count it. I started dancing when I was 8 years old, and I knew for absolute certain I wanted to be a ballet dancer by the time I was 14. I remember seeing a ballet by Balanchine, and it's Balanchine who brought ballet really to America. I'd seen many of his ballets, but I just remember sitting there in the audience and thinking, I have to do this. And that's why I eventually went away to boarding school for ballet, so that my academics could be worked around my ballet training, and I could be around and training with other dancers, that this was their real focus in life as well. So I am 115 and a half pounds, and I feel I dance my strongest at 114 pounds, because I think I've heard this with cyclists. You want as much lean muscle as you can so you can propel up the hill as quickly as possible. So it's that balance between being really strong and being able to lift the leg with as much ease as possible. If there's 5 extra pounds on the leg, it's a lot more work. So I feel that balance right there for me, and I'm just that far from that.
And 1, and 2, and 1.
The amount of hours I'll dance in a day varies greatly depending where we are in the season. When we're in full season, the day is 11 to 6. The sweat is real. Every day when I dance, especially bar, everything goes away except that. But there's also so much to focus on, you can't possibly think of anything else because there's a million things I could have done better. And I was thinking of all those things. I think it's just as exhausting mentally as it is physically.
Easy eyebrows. 6, 7, straighten on the bottom, 8.
I sometimes get caught in the athletic demands and the technical demands and can forget about the presentation. And ultimately, this is a visual art. When you're lifting your leg out there, you kind of want to tense your shoulders or your face, but you can't. You keep all of that out of emotion. That's hard for me.
And 1, 2, and 3. Okay, take 5 minutes to stretch.
Yeah, so now I'm going to have a snack, and then we'll rehearse for a little while. I think this is a cutie. Those little oranges. Maybe it's a clementine. No, I usually have oranges on my break. A woman my size, just to maintain on a normal day, is roughly 1850 calories. So it's interesting to know that the 2,000 calorie diet's for a slightly larger size than I am. So to lose half a pound a week, I do a 250 calorie deficit a day, which has me consuming 1,604 calories a day. So I'll be there in 3 weeks. So what I do is I will just remember what I ate all day, and then at night, I have this little notebook that I put it all into. So we had the 3 clementines. We're estimating that at 70. I have half of a smoothie, so it's 185. Oftentimes people seem to not like the idea of counting calories, but for me, it's so much easier because otherwise you're always wondering, or you're thinking I should have seen a result by now. But if it's just the math, then you just know what's happening and you don't have to wonder. Right before I came here, I had curry chicken, 250, on bread, which is 130, and what did I have? Pasta, and 130 for chicken. So I've had 1,025 so far. And so now I'll have something like this. You know, granola bar. This is 200 calories, I believe. Yep. So I'll have a big dinner. So now I'm going to ice my feet while I put my dinner in the microwave. You know, depending on how much I danced, will influence a lot how hungry I am. Since I work out so much, I'll eat over 2,000 calories, but it'll still bring me in the 1,600 range. So far today, I've eaten 1225 in calories, and so I'm going to put in my exercise, because that's going to subtract even more off of that for when I figure out how much I can eat. So I did 2.5 hours of dancing and then 2 hours of stretching. So that means I burned 804 calories. So I'm going to make a chicken piccata, and that's 380. So I'm going to have it with a Cobb salad, which is also 380. So at that point, my caloric intake will be 1985. Minus the 804 in exercise, that's 1181. So I'll probably have a big bowl of cereal, which is around 300 calories. I eat prepackaged food because I don't have much time. It's really easy to know what's in it, and I'm not a very good cook. I think that people often assume that ballerinas are maybe hungry, And they don't realize that with exercising so much that you can actually eat a lot of food if you choose healthy things. Okay, so what I do now is I'll eat this while I ice my feet to distract me from how uncomfortable that is. It might be a small population that eat dinner with their feet in an ice bucket. I know it looks a little sad right here, but normally I watch TV, and so I go back and forth between my feet and my knees. And my piccata and my salad too. He loves the piccata. Yep, I'll go get in the tub in a minute and just wind down.
I feel like I've heard doctors say that like you can put heat on something or you can put ice on something. So I figured do both.
I guess the typical career track for a ballet dancer is between the ages of 18 and 22. You begin dancing professionally, getting jobs in a professional company. Then I'd say a lot of dancers retire around 35. But of course, you know, an injury can come along and cut your career short. We're gonna have a bowl of cereal, and then I'm gonna fall asleep. One thing perhaps of note about my diet is that I do eat from all the food groups. I know there's a lot of diets that say exclude carbs or exclude dairy, but I eat from all of the food groups. So I'm having 1 serving of this, which is 2 ounces and 200 calories. And I'll just weigh it, because this is one of those things that it takes a little while to know like what a serving size really is. And then a cup of skim milk is 90 calories. We'll just sit in bed and eat this and then fall asleep and get up and do it all again tomorrow. It's about 6 a.m. and I'm about to go on a hike. I love LA. There's a city here. There's obviously a lot of arts, but you can also just go get in your car and go on a hike. And then you can go to the ballet or the symphony at night. So you have both. I like to do a pretty quick hike so that I can keep my cardio up for a while, but I don't run because I've always been told that ballet dancers shouldn't run. I think because it hurts your knees. I like to do a long hike on the weekends. So a lot of times I'll do like a 10-mile hike on a Saturday. And then a lot of the repertory we dance here at the company is really intense. So when I'm building up to a new ballet that's going to be cardio intensive, I'll often do a hike in the morning as well. Also, hiking really clears my head. Yeah, you just let your mind wander. So after hiking for about an hour and a half, then I'll have an orange, and then I'll maybe go and pick up a salad. This is what I would eat on a day that I go for a 2-hour hike and do 2 hours of stretching. This brings me to a total of 2,275 calories. And I've exercised just under 700 calories. So if I eat like this and exercise like this, I'll lose a half a pound a week. I think that it's a lot more food than people expect. Because people often say to me like, oh, you hardly eat. Don't you hardly eat? And I say, no, I eat a lot of vegetables and chicken and steak, fruit, high fiber. This is a very straightforward approach, and it does make it feel very easy. You're not limited. I'll go out to a restaurant and be able to easily choose. I'm not confined to needing to bring something along all the time.
I'm excited for dinner.
Yeah, I'm starving.
So we want to do the wild arugula. And can we get the dressing on the side? The octopus? And then, do you want to do like some sort of meat?
Yeah, that sounds good.
What are you in the mood for?
Steak.
Me too. I am a fan of meat. If it doesn't have meat, to me, it feels like a snack. If I don't eat meat, I just feel that I can't focus and I feel tired and probably a little moody.
Get the white arugula salad over here.
Great, thank you. I get dressing on the side so that I can know how much I'm using. Dressing's very calorie dense. So this is a tablespoon. So one of these with olive oil is 120 calories. So if you saw that steak I put on the scale, that was 133 calories for that whole big piece of steak versus 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So when you're thinking about what's going to keep you full all day. And if you also think to lose half a pound a week, you only have to cut out 250 calories, you basically have to just cut out 2 spoonfuls of olive oil, which seems simple, trivial. Okay,
I'm good for now.
People often joke about how much more I eat than they expect. And I'll go out to dinner because I'll get a big piece of fish and a big plate of vegetables, and I just won't eat a lot of olive oil and bread and that sort of thing.
Right now I'm trying to do vegetables with every meal just because it kind of helps me to get more full.
Again, this tablespoon of olive oil, how much kale would you eat for 120 calories? It would be this much kale, you'd be completely stuffed versus something like that. So really, I think that the key is figuring out how to not be hungry. And that's actually what the counting helps me do. It helps me think ahead. So often I'll talk to a friend that's on some new diet or something, and it becomes such a big part of your focus, where this, I feel like, can just run in the background.
Cheers.
I need my body to be like an instrument, so I'm not limited to just one note, but a number of different dynamics. The speeds in which I can dance, the ability I have to stop quickly or hold something is my ability to express. The athleticism is what makes the expression possible. If I get tired quickly, I can't say what I want to say with my body. I can't speak for anyone else, but for myself, I feel that if you're not getting the nutrition you need, you can't keep up with the mental and physical demands of ballet.
More important is the time that I'm having while I'm training than the actual fight. You know, the fight is just a result of how my training was and how prepared I was. So if you put too much pressure on the result and you have an attachment to the result, then you're always waiting for that moment. And you don't enjoy everything that happens up until that moment. The fight's gonna happen on that day. When that day comes, I'll get my adrenaline going. But I'm not gonna get my adrenaline going today over that. Let's start from close guard today. If you open the legs, keep going. If you get to half guard, keep going until full pass. If the guy turns to his knees, if the guy's right here, boom, he turns to his knees, keep going until it's a full pass. If he gets both hooks, then you stop. All right, if you sweep or submit, you stop. All right, let's go. My name is Cron Gracie. I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I've been competing with jiu-jitsu my whole life, teaching my whole life. More recently, like the past 5 years, I've been focusing on MMA. Jiu-jitsu is the biggest foundation for fighting, I think. I think if you don't know jiu-jitsu, you're just gonna have a hard time to get into a real fight with somebody because the fight is most likely gonna end up on the ground at some point. So I think jiu-jitsu is the most valuable martial art there is. I've been teaching jiu-jitsu my whole life. I spent a lot of time building this gym, spent a lot of time building my jiu-jitsu, spent a lot of time building my students. Good job, guys.
Good morning, everybody. Are you guys ready for some apple cider vinegar shots or what?
If I can, I'll do this first. Helps flush out my body, my system first, and then I'll have like either water or lemon water, at least just water. For me, I like to stay light in the day, and I give my body just enough of what it needs to get through that workout or through that next stage.
If I go eat Eggs Benedict right now or a big meal, it's gonna really slow me down.
I used to be able to eat anything and go train and do anything. You know, any 20-year-old kid is gonna be able to eat anything and perform still. I'm gonna be 28, so there's only so long that you can fight for. If I'm like eating bad foods, it's really putting my body in danger. It's really putting it in risk. I enjoy to eat healthy because I enjoy being able to train the way I train, able to feel the way I feel, and I'm supporting things that are good for the environment and good for the world. I basically haven't eaten meat in a year. I eat fish, and I don't eat too much dairy. I don't drink milk. I don't eat as much gluten. It just kind of happened slowly. You know, it took a long time for me to be able to really believe in not being able to eat meat and still be a professional athlete. I've been doing jiu-jitsu since basically before I can remember what is what. I already was training with a little guion and a little yellow belt. I started learning with my father, and he learned with his father. So we come from a very strong foundation of jiu-jitsu. My grandfather was to jiu-jitsu what Einstein is to mathematics, you know? He basically took Japanese jiu-jitsu, which was based on explosiveness and strength, and he started developing his own techniques. His whole mission was to prove that jiu-jitsu was based on leverage and that a weaker man can beat a bigger man. Within a little bit of time, he became the one who was the representer and like actually fighting. And his brother kind of stepped to the side and became the businessman. And them together was what really made the Gracie family. One had 21 kids, the other one had 9 kids, and they just basically created this army of little jiu-jitsu champions. It's the biggest martial arts family in the world, and we've been representing for 100 years. Most people who even watch fighting don't even know who the Gracies are. It's almost lost. And here I am trying to make sure that the family name is kept alive. We're in Santa Monica, and we're gonna run 6 miles to Venice Pier and back. You really don't need that much food. So like if you're eating like nutritious food with nutrients and with small meals, you can keep your energy level way higher, have a better endurance, have a better training, have better everything, you know? You live longer, you move faster, you think better. When you eat a lot of food, it makes you almost like slow. I've eaten like that too, and I eat like this, and I'm able to perform way more and do more if I eat less and just eat good foods. I train for triathlons to help me with fighting. For me, triathlon and running and biking and swimming is just fun, and being out and just doing something different because I've been caged up in a gym with a bunch of men training, sweating, just grappling and punching that it'll drive you crazy. I've learned a lot of breathing from my father. You know, from a little young age, my dad, he always was encouraging me to learn how to breathe, and he always did diaphragm work and did a lot of movement with breathing. And as I get older and older and older, more difficult situations, more mental stress, more physical stress, all these things start adding up, and I kind of started to breathe more, and I kind of really started to notice that it was a big part of my life and a big part of my growth and my peace. So I started to put more time into it. And I've created my own like sequence of things I like to do and ways I like to breathe, things that I think are important. Luckily, I brought a backup protein. This is just plant-based protein. I really enjoy being like delusional, tired, you know? Like dehydrated, overworked, broken down, sore. I really enjoy those feelings. It really makes me feel alive, you know? This is a Vega Sport Endurance Gel. Just sugars and salts and potassium and electrolytes and stuff like that. I try to be in touch with what's coming into my body, what's going out of my body. If I need energy, how am I gonna get it? If I'm hyper or too awake, how am I gonna relax? I'm just testing all these things out, finding out what works for me. What's up? Can I have a number 1, please? And yeah, we're gonna do it all. Sometimes they don't have it, but today they have it. The lentils right here is bomb. And I'm gonna get this too. Oh, yeah, and I'm gonna get this hummus too.
All right, my dear.
Thank you. This is ginger. This is turmeric, right?
The turmeric, orange, and cayenne.
And then, you wanna explain to them what this is?
Vitamin B12 complex with a little bit of alkaline water. The vitamin B12 that we use is derived by algae and
We
seaweed.
just need to bring her everywhere and she can explain everything, so I don't have to explain shit. I'm not gonna eat much of this right now. I really feel like this much of this, and I can train for another like 2 hours, 3 hours easy. Right now, my priority isn't eating. My priority is training. So I'm gonna eat what I need just to get me through the training. After I'm done with all my workouts, then I'll just take time to eat and gear up and get ready for the next day. So it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to my house, chill there for a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Oh, my personal masseuse. I mean, it's not like an actual massage, but it definitely helps. Makes me feel good. It's like my body knows exactly when 10 minutes is up. Oh, it already knows. Oh. So I'm ready. It's just minerals and just helps oxygenate your blood. There's no typical day for me. You know, every day is a little different. I follow my intuition, you know, what I feel, what feels right to me, what feels good to my body, what feels good to my training. That isn't on a schedule, except for at 7 p.m. I gotta be at the gym. The last few years, I've been kind of more focusing on my MMA. I've been teaching less and focusing more on my progression. And I have to put a lot of time into other things besides jiu-jitsu. So I've been working my boxing and my judo, kickboxing, karate, and my overall performance physically, mentally, and spiritually to reach these strong points in the fights. After training, I need to drink a lot of water. I need to drink a lot of liquids because I'm dehydrated, I'm delusional, because I didn't drink a lot of liquids throughout the day. So I'm first trying to get all my liquids in, and then once that goes down, I can eat. It's 10:30 right now, it's pretty early. Sometimes I only get out of training, like I leave the gym at 11 or leave the gym at 12.
Thank you very much.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
You want to fight?
No, I was supposed to fight this month, but we got pushed back to September.
Okay. So what are you going to start?
Can I have albacore sushi?
Okay.
Chrome Gracie roll,
Okay.
sweet shrimp, and baked crab hand roll avocado. Can I have a hot green tea and a Pellegrino?
Yeah, I was like, man, I like this roll where it's like a California roll with baked scallops on top. And they're like, well, we don't make that roll. I was like, can you make it for me? And they're like, yeah. And I've been coming here since I was like 12 years old, so they just started making it for me. And I've been trying to get them to put it on the menu, but they're like, I'm like, I guess I gotta win a lot more fights. When are we gonna get the Cron Gracie roll on the menu? That everybody wants to know. Only for me. I'll accept it. Hi, arigato. It's the Cron Gracie roll. You don't know? Very tasty. Good to get like a little light sushi because it's a lot of nutrients, good protein, and just good food. If I were to try to eat like a big bowl of pasta or something right now, I couldn't do it. This is baked crab with avocado. But to tell you the truth, right now, I'm already full. I'm only eating this because I already ordered it. I get full quickly my first meal, especially if it's this close to training. This is gonna pass, and then I'm gonna get really hungry. My body's gonna ask for all those calories that I burned. See, I'm still kind of full from all the drinks and all the training. I'm still kind of tripping and stuff. This is just for right now, and then I'm gonna eat at least one more time, you know? But once I'm done with my training, now I forget about my training. I try to forget about it as much as possible, and I just hang out with my friends or hang out with myself or do my research or eat food, relax. This is a time where I get to enjoy the day, like really. And I think life is about working hard and then also getting to enjoy it and like appreciate it and look back and like really absorb it for the next morning. Arigato, matane. Sarana. Matane. Hello, can I place a pickup order, please?
All right, what can I get for you?
Can I get a breakfast burrito, please, with no meat?
Okay.
And extra guacamole on the side.
All right, can I get a name, please?
Crone, Carolyn. See, after training, I could barely walk. Now I'm already like almost normal again. Until tomorrow morning, then I won't be able to walk. 11:40, yeah. Just getting home. It's early. This is an early day for me, so I feel good about it. It's gonna be easier to wake up tomorrow. But I'll still be up for at least 3-4 more hours. Now I actually feel hungry. Before I was just eating just because it was time to eat. I mean, I was hungry too, but now I definitely feel more hungry. Now I feel like my body's asking for it's just getting through all that water and all that shit that I drank. I know that if I wanted to, if I had to, I could probably eat a lot and go work out and train myself to do that. But I just don't feel like that's necessary, you know? I feel like I like the way I do my thing. People get comfortable in whatever they do. I get comfortable when I'm in my gym. I can be there all my students. I've taught them everything they know. And once I reach that comfort, it's not the most interesting thing for me, because for me to really be able to improve and achieve things that are greater than me, I have to put myself in an uncomfortable place. That's where I like to be, you know? So anything that makes me uncomfortable that is gonna benefit me from my mental or my physical, I'm gonna try to do. You know, I don't really think of the fame as what I used to think it was, you know? I used to really want to be known for fighting and known to be the best in the world, and I still want to be the best because I want to push myself to those limits. But if I wasn't going to push those limits with martial arts, I would push those limits with other things, you know? Whether it's like environment or spirituality. I still have it in the back of my mind that I have a bigger purpose, and I don't want to have any regrets with myself because I didn't do what I felt was right. And I feel like what I'm doing is right, but I also feel like there's a lot more to do in a global way. So if I can use my fighting and my martial arts to help me achieve something better for the world, that's what I'm doing it for.
Connecting with nature, going out for long runs has really opened up my mind to be free, and I think that's led to me feeling this passion that's led me to running and running for long distances. My name is Timothy Olson, and I'm an ultra mountain runner. The ultra distance is anything farther than 26.2, the marathon distance. I run anywhere from 50 miles to 100-mile races. I prefer to do them in the mountains, lots of vertical gain, altitude. That's what I love. I think to get into ultra running, you have to be crazy. When I first heard of ultra running, I thought like, this is wild. Who would want to run for 100 miles, like straight, like no sleeping and minimal food and water? And a few months after I ran my first 50K, I paced someone on a 100-mile run. So I was running with him and just watching him just have just a miserable time, you know, body shutting down, throwing up all over the place. It looked like an awful experience. And instead of being like, gosh, this looks terrible, I'll never do something like this, I'm like, this is awesome. When can I sign up for something like this? That was kind of the choice right there where I could have said, this is crazy, I don't need to do this. But for me, I just really fell in love with it. I like the challenge, that really energetic connection to nature, and getting to explore a beautiful place on my own 2 feet. One of the reasons I moved here was to prepare for the mountainous running that I'm doing, and the races. And the races that I really love are stuff that go straight up something like this. I think I had at one point a pretty messed up version of a passion, of being addicted. I was just looking for the next high. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about anybody. Ended up being arrested for drugs and you know, on probation for years. Even like using ketamine, sometime a horse tranquilizer. I was passionately addicted to drugs, and I just needed to turn that passion towards something more healthy. So like switching over to running and eventually ultra running, I think was a way to like heal my body, heal my mind, and then it turned into so much more. This is the type of shit that I'm running through at mile 80 in a race. And if you can make your way through this when you're feeling crappy, you're gonna be doing good in a race. So training in it, it's great. You know, 100 miles, you can't just rely on sugar the whole time. Like that's, some people do it, but a lot of people crash and burn. You know, in a 100-mile race, some people will have up to like 40 or 50 gels, which I couldn't even fathom putting that much stuff in my stomach. Like I feel my stomach feels a little off after, 5 or 10 gels. And that's why too, in like 100-mile races, especially like mountain-ish races, I use other things as well. A good recovery meal after a hard run in the mountains, and I'll bring this with me all the time, is just an avocado and a bison bar here. A bunch of good fats, good protein for recovery, and it's super tasty too. I've really adapted my body to use fat as its fuel, and like hence why I use a lot of like really good fats, why I have, use avocado a lot. So this is 100% grass-fed bison, a little bit of bacon and cranberry. 11 grams of protein, basically just a meal in a bar. Over the years, I've adapted to basically just a whole food type of diet, which is like this primal paleo-esque type of diet where I just, eat real good, clean food. And I feel it has helped my running immensely, and just way of life. For me, it's just, I really prioritize what goes in my body and how I feel, and I want to enjoy life, and I want to live a long, healthy, blissful life. Can I get 8 chicken thighs?
Bone in or boneless?
Bone in and with the skin. Yep. Do you like chicken? Are we gonna cook some? You excited?
Which one do you want?
Something else for you?
That is everything. Thanks, boss. Yep. Definitely spend a lot on food, but it's, a priority to us. So we like to do that. And everything you buy is like a vote for what they're gonna stock for you.
We need coconut milk.
One last one, okay.
And I think that's it.
Okay. Coconut milk, we're good?
Yeah, I think so. Not the light one. Isn't that light?
Is that light?
We want all of its creamy goodness.
We want all the fat we can get.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. I think we're good.
ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we're en route to go home and make dinner. Can you sing us a song, bud? It's a good song. More. Yeah.
You doing?
Nice. Home sweet home. Welcome to the Olsen household. We are gonna cook some dinner here tonight. Getting ready for an ultra race, I like to eat really clean and a very low carb, high fat, good clean protein. Prior to a race, I really try to get my body really fat adapted. And what I mean by that is I'm able to really burn fat as my fuel. And then when I run, I'm able to tap into that fat storage and I can burn that at a good level and then I don't need as many calories. A good example of what my stomach was doing before I switched over to a more paleo primal type way was Western States, a 100-mile race that I ran the first time. Towards the end of the race, after lots of heat and lots of gels and whatnot, I ended up taking a crap in the woods like 20 sometimes in the last like 30 miles of the race. All I could do is I'd run for a little while and then I'd try to eat a gel or eat something and like instantly I was in the bushes. That's something I wanted to change. That's when I switched to more primal, like grain-free type diet. I had huge success with it. I think it works really well for mountain running too because you're hiking a lot out there, you're spending a lot of time and you need to have that good fuel burning type thing going on. Coconut oil, starting my day with that, starting with fat, like that's just what I use and start running with. And I mean, basically that's what I've done with my diet is teaching my body to thrive off of fat. And that allows me to have my stomach not bother me as much. And I feel like recover faster as well.
Did I see coconut oil up in your shower?
Yeah.
Rub it on your body?
Yep.
It's good for your hair.
It's good for hair. Coconut oil we use for very many things. Even in the morning we do this thing called oil pulling. And coconut oil is a really good antibacterial aid. So we swish it in our mouth just like you would like Listerine or something, except a little bit longer, like 10 minutes, and it helps to clean your teeth. It helps to get rid of any bacteria, and you got a fresh mouth, and then you spit that out, and then if you want, you can grab some and moisturize.
We really like coconut oil.
We drank the Kool-Aid on the coconut oil.
Yeah.
All right. We got some asparagus, zucchini pasta with cream garlic cashew cream sauce, and then the carrots with the same sauce. Actually, this has a little kick in it, so a little cayenne pepper and some ginger, garlic, and then our chicken with again with garlic, some broth, and some mushrooms. With lemon water?
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
I really like lemon these days.
We do. Well, we have a cup of it full in our fridge. All hand squeezed. Cheers.
Cheers.
The meditation I've been doing recently, it has a little form of like visualization. In that process, it's just kind of like envisioning a ball of light moving to different points in my body. And so I kind of visualize that going up and down, and it really helps me to really tune into my body, but it also, when I'm running, I visualize the same thing. So another thing that meditation has helped me with over the years is really just learning to quiet my mind. Years ago I definitely had just an excess of like mental jibber jabber going on. I think meditation really helps me to just be in the present moment, and I think that's the only way to function in life is just being very aware of what's going on right now, and that's where I want to be when I run. We're in Chautauqua right now. Gonna go play around in these trails a little bit in front of the Flatirons, and then we'll run up through Gregory Canyon over to Ranger, which will take us up to Green. It's only probably you know, maybe 5 miles or something total to get up to the top and then back down like 10 miles or something round trip. But more so, it's a lot of good vertical gain and steep technical terrain too. So you climb like 3,000 feet in that, which is pretty awesome. When it gets all snowy, icy out here, nice to have on a little bit more traction. So these kind of help me do a little grip. You got a good little spike on the end. It's windy today, really windy. I mean, beautiful sunny day. We got some good bright sun, but it is really windy. So that'll flow us around a little while. Now I got some traction, can run. When I come out to the trails, you know, it's this place to be wild and free and just be very peaceful. And so I come out here and I'm able to like just really tap into my body, really feel what's going on. Once I tap into that very like Zen type of flow, I'm able to get into a really nice rhythm with running and just understanding what my body needs, understanding when I can push it, when I need to back down a little bit. And when you have that awareness in your body, you're able to, I think, push yourself in different areas. Connecting with like the land, connecting with nature, going out for long runs has really opened up my mind, opened up my heart to be free. And I think that's led to me feeling this inspiration and feeling this passion that's led me to running and running for long distances and being surrounded by things that I love. And this is what I love. And I think when you turn exercise into play, it's not exercise anymore, and you just get to be free, and then it just turns life into this game and this just really blissful, happy spot to be. Just got back from a run. It's a green smoothie time, so I got most of it ready here. Bunch of kale, some fruit. We got some berries and some banana. I like to add a little bit more superfood. This is just, you know, a good recovery after a hard day of running. You spend a day out there and it's nice to just get some really good nutrients like right away to you. So blending it all up is just making it more bioavailable. I can have a meal in like a couple minutes, which, you know, I like to cook a lot of my food, so speeding up the process is a nice bonus. Nice, pretty tasty. So good.
We're gonna go have a little safety meeting in the trees over there. A little ski chair. That's good enough. Good luck rolling a joint that fast in the woods. Not quite as convenient as just being able to vaporize it like the way we do. I'm pretty good. You need another one? I'm much better now. Okay. If you are going to use cannabis, make sure you have some food nearby because you're going to feel hungry. Cannabis is definitely a performance enhancer. People who do anything, any sport, any activity, any hobby can be using cannabis and do use cannabis. So everybody, you know, has their choice to do the things that make them feel good, and for me and for millions of people, cannabis is one of those choices. My name is Ross Rebliati, and I'm the 1998 gold medalist for giant slalom in snowboarding. First time snowboarding was at the Olympics.
I'm just gonna plug in this bullet here. Cannabis has been a way to increase my appetite and give me the munchies, as they say. That's been a good thing for me, because sometimes I could go like the whole day without even eating, and then, you know, wake up in the morning with super low blood sugar and in a bad mood and not excited about the day at all. Cannabis had a lot to do with my training and my eating habits and being able to continue doing it on a daily basis for long periods of time. In a lot of ways, cannabis is my fuel. I consume mostly edibles. I loved the shakes because I just can't imagine in my head having to eat something that I had to chew. I just wanted to get it in me. I'm not making a big production out of the fact that I'm eating something. I just want to get fuel into my body the fastest way I can. I tested positive for cannabis in the '98 Olympics in Nagano after I won the gold medal in the giant slalom event for snowboarding. I ended up in the Japanese police station being interrogated for, you know, the good part of a day. That caused a media frenzy, and it was a pretty crazy time. We appealed the decision and lost 2 times. And then it went to a court of arbitration where those officials just basically discovered that cannabis actually wasn't on the list of banned substances, and so I was actually allowed to keep my medal. You know, there was a lot of attention on me for all the wrong reasons, and really wore me out. By the time I got back to Canada, I lost like 15 or 20 pounds or something like that. So it was a stressful event, and the whole cannabis thing took a long time for it to manifest to where it is today. This is just from one of my friend's daughters, who was probably about 7 or 8 at the time after Nagano in '98. And so she drew this picture of me and got it to me. And here it says, "I hope my dad grows up to be like you." It just was motivation for me to like keep going. Since '98, I've had problems getting into the United States. Okay, well, the first paragraph, it's pretty easy to figure out. Rebliati can go to Salt Lake City to see the Winter Olympics next week if he shows up at the US border with a note from his doctor saying he is drug-free.
Salt Lake City, they did not live across the border.
Yeah.
That seems kind of crazy, doesn't it?
It was crazy, and it still is like that. Snowboarding was kind of the outlaw sport back in the day, and cannabis was definitely outlawed. For me to inadvertently test positive for cannabis after winning a gold medal in the sport of snowboarding, it was a major controversy. I had huge anxiety over it. I didn't know if I was even gonna use cannabis anymore. The support that I got was overwhelming, and it was great, but there still was a lot of people that weren't supporters. I mean, it was definitely a case of politics. It was just a lot of stress and not anything that I was ready for. You know, I prepared myself to win, and that was about it. I didn't prepare myself for the day after. Right now, it's probably close to 6 in the morning. I usually wake up sometime before 5. Even though I enjoy waking up, medicating is part of the reason why I enjoy waking up early. That just kind of takes the edge off. If I'm stiff or anything like that from the day before, you can right away start feeling more like your muscles are loosening up and you're starting to become more flexible. I'm 43 now, so it's kind of like you notice that you're not 23. These vapes are pretty much 99% of how I medicate. I use cannabis-infused medicated honey for my sweetener in the coffee. I'm gonna put about half a teaspoon. You get the good qualities of the coffee in that it's waking you up, the caffeine's waking you up and getting your circulation going. The caffeine actually acts as a delivery system for the CBDs. It's been really exciting to learn how cannabis works with the human body, because we have so many receptors in our body naturally for cannabinoids. And so when you consume cannabinoids, it evens you out because you have a deficiency, and then so if you consume it, you can top it up. They're like plugs with nothing in them. And so you're just plugging in all the plugs in your brain. Your body is made for cannabinoids. That might be a controversial thing to say, but it's the truth. We wanted to use my name and we wanted to associate it with my Olympic performance, but my last name is just too long for everybody to recognize or be able to pronounce. And so it just turned out that Ross's Gold was the name we chose. Right now we're just sticking to glass, and we do have hemp products coming out in the United States. We're a licensing and branding company, so everything from cannabis products and derivatives and edibles, and you know, the edibles in general are coming down the line as what the future of the industry looks like. Using cannabis with sports, if you're not used to the idea of using cannabis, doesn't seem like the right thing to do. But once you learn about how it works, and you realize that it's definitely a good idea. I got onto the World Cup tour, and that's when I realized it was going to be a different story. I was competing against guys that were 100 pounds heavier than I was. There was no weight class. And the heavier you are, the faster you can go. I had to go from like 170 to 190. I mean, some people can't stop eating. I'm not like that. I can barely get food into me. I just don't feel like eating. For me, the cannabis really helps increase the appetite and get me into the gym, get that motivation, keep the motivation going for years on end. You know, you go from like a high level with people cheering for you, you get that rush of being on TV, and then you're done. I think a lot of athletes can get a depression because regular life's just not the same. We're almost like soldiers in a way, where what we did was so not like reality that when you get back to reality, it's just tough. So I found that I just kept working out. It's my way to kind of stay into it. Cannabis is definitely a performance enhancer, and it definitely did help me. By the time I arrived at the Olympics, years and years later, I was stronger and faster, and I think that the gym is the main catalyst, and staying in shape and eating, and cannabis can be a part of that healthy lifestyle. Good workout, guys. That's pretty much like day 100 in a row. I'm actually just starting to feel the effects of the coffees that I had earlier today. When you eat something, it usually takes about a half an hour to 45 minutes to start feeling it, which is probably about as much time as we've been gone from the house right now. For an athlete, the cause of most pain is inflammation of your joints and your muscles after a workout. And you can reduce that pain and sometimes completely kill it altogether through an anti-inflammatory. And if you can get that through a natural source, like cannabis, for example, which actually has one of the strongest anti-inflammatories that have ever been found, I just figure that's got to be a better source than taking an Advil, for example. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're heading into the main parking lots for Whistler Blackcomb. We're gonna go park over beside Rebliati Park. Ready to go. I got the munchies right now.
Okay.
Turkey bacon. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Good. How are you? Could I get one of those paninis? A little tomato in there. Oh man, that was good. Man, do you see how hungry I got after I had a couple of vapes? It's like, boom, I got to eat now. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have realized I was hungry until it was too late.
What's too late?
Low blood sugar. Probably a lot of crimes were committed on low blood sugar. I ski raced until I was 15, and then that year I started snowboarding, and I never skied again. And that was 1987. I bought skis 2 years ago because I was impressed by the advancement that ski technology took. It's just different. And so I'd been away from skiing for 25 years, and I was just so intrigued by the new technology, and I still love snowboarding, but now my passion is skiing, so it's just the way it goes. Cannabis is interesting in a lot of different ways that you wouldn't expect. For example, when you're going fast on skis, your mind is actually processing things faster than it would normally, which creates the illusion that things are coming at you more slowly. So it gives you more time to make decisions. When you're competing for a 100th of a second, you can't really overlook anything. Refueling time.
like pain killing time too.
Yeah, your knee's sore?
Yeah.
Tell him what happened, Ian.
I broke my femur paragliding this summer. They prescribed me morphine and codeine and all these heavy painkillers, and I just chucked them. I don't even mess around with that stuff. You can't feel when your injury is bothering you when you have such strong painkillers. It masks the pain. I just use cannabis as a painkiller.
You can still feel the pain, but it makes it bearable, even though you can still feel it.
This will seriously help.
So smooth. I think a lot of athletes who retire from sport in one way or another have to sort of reinvent themselves and figure out what it is that motivates them. And for me, it was sports still. Like in the wintertime, I skate ski so that in the summertime, I can be a strong road biker right off the bat. But at the same time, I'm road biking so that I can be fast on my skate skis in the winter. I'm just like cross-training constantly for like different seasons and different sports. I think cannabis is the whole reason why I have the energy to do it all. People who do anything, any sport, any activity, any hobby can be using cannabis and do use cannabis. So everybody, has their choice to do the things that make them feel good. And for me and for millions of people, cannabis is one of those choices. It's exciting times for me. It's kind of like when I got involved in snowboarding before we were allowed to snowboard, and then it just blew up and then went to the Olympics, and now it seems like the whole cannabis culture is doing the same thing. We're at the dawn of the lifting of prohibition, and I can't think of a better thing for me to be doing right now with my life.
There she is. It just goes back in the bag. There it goes. If you lose that motherfucker, let me tell you, you go crazy. You don't want to lose it.
During a challenge, I wear headphones because I like to listen to music. I love girly pop music. Miley Cyrus, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, frickin' awesome. Music helps me get my mind off the massive amount of food that's sitting in front of me. It allows me to eat more, eat faster without even noticing it. My name is Randy Santel. I'm a professional eater from the United States. I specialize in food challenges, competitive eating, and nutrition. My goal is to have food challenge wins in all 50 states, along with all 27, and hopefully by the time it gets to that, over 30 countries. With food challenges, you've got to have the proper strategy. You can't just take a 5-pound burger, pick it up and eat it. You got to be able to break it down, know that you have to eat the meats first, then the veggies, then the breads, then you usually have your fries or your onion rings or whatever your sides are. There's a whole lot to it that most people don't understand, and that's why over 90% of people lose food challenges. It's all about being ready, train, strategize, dominate. We are at Meat Liquor, and I am frickin' starving, so it's definitely time to eat. You came all the way from Birmingham? Yeah. No shit. Awesome. Well, that's awesome. Okay. Well, that's really cool. I appreciate that. Those girls are fucking hot. Holy crap.
You know, you've actually spoken to each other before.
Probably on Facebook. Nice. Yeah, probably.
That is actually true.
Yeah.
That is true. Can I just ask about your little routine that you like to go through?
What,
Can you do it now?
Yeah.
Can I get it? Sorry, can I get it on my phone?
Hey everybody, this is Randy Santel, Atlas with Atlas and Zeus Promotions. I'm here with my friend Vicky, and I think Vicky's gonna try the challenge too. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be cool to watch. But let's get this challenge started. The whole flexing thing, I get a lot of flack about that. Atlas, Atlas, Atlas. That's just more fun than anything. It was more just flexing on it because I was basically showing the food who's daddy. Appreciate you guys coming today. This is awesome. Holy cow. Hey everybody, this is Randy Santel, Atlas with Atlas and Zeus Promotions and proud owner of foodchallenges.com. I'm here at Meat Liquor in central London. I'm taking on their Triple Chili Challenge. Now, I'm going for overall win number 246 and win number 36 of my 2015 UK and Ireland tour. We've got all kinds of deliciousness over here. We're gonna do, I think, the burger first, then the hot dog, and then work on the chili cheese chips. I've got 10 minutes to do it. The record is frickin' 2 minutes and 47 seconds. I'm gonna try to break the record, so even if I lose, I'm still gonna get it free if I win in under 10 minutes. Oh shit, I had my hat on wrong. I need to redo that. Hey everybody, this is Randy Santel, Atlas with Atlas and Zeus Promotions and proud owner of foodchallenges.com. Let's get this challenge started. A lot of people ask about who Atlas is. I'm a big Sylvester Stallone fan, and I love the movie Over the Top. Before every big arm wrestling match, he turns into his alter ego he calls a machine. He basically takes his cap, does this, and then you can just see in his eyes that he's just complete focus, ready to dominate the task at hand. He's ready to destroy anybody in arm wrestling that even comes up to the table. When I turn my hat around and turn into Atlas, rub my hands together, any food sitting in front of me is going down. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. The big thing to eating fast is not chewing, it's about swallowing. Basically take a lot of small bites, almost like CPR. They tell you to open up the throat. You just do that, maybe with a little water pushing it through, and then just swallow. You're able to move on to the next bite. It's all about practice, training, strategizing, and then soon you'll be able to, if you work hard enough, dominate. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Throughout my life, I've always been kind of a big kid. I used to be about 205 pounds, which is over 100 kilos back when I was in 5th and 6th grade, so I've always been able to eat a lot. My very first job, I was working at Subway. I was a senior sandwich artist. I used to eat 3 double meat footlongs with extra vegetables and everything within about a 5-hour work period. Then I went on to Burger King and I used to basically fill up an entire tray of just everything. And I was able to eat that because I was wanting to gain weight so I can be better at American football. As a big guy, I've always wanted to just be really, really ripped. I mean, I think a lot of people that have been really, really big, they always have that, oh man, I would look so freaking good, just all cut up, sexy physique, ripped up body. Well, I've always wanted that. In 2010, I found out about this national USA Men's Health sponsored body transformation contest. I competed in this big, big transformation, and then in 2 months, I was able to lose 26 pounds. I got down from 250 down to 220, basically. The results that I got were really incredible. I mean, I've never seen myself like that before. I was so just stoked to be really, really ripped that I ended up getting all oiled up, and I did a 10-day tanning package, and I bought this gladiator Halloween costume, and I ended up winning. Once I finished with the transformation contest, my buddy had done this pizza contest before, this pizza challenge. He lost it with another partner, but he knew that I was very, very good at eating, so to celebrate and to treat ourselves, we did the big pizza challenge, and we got 500 American dollars for that.
14 minutes and 32 seconds. No lie, Mr. Minetti, it's the real thing. So if you're watching on on YouTube, it's the real thing, brother. Forget about it.
After that, I was like, hey, I'm really, really good at this. We borrowed a camera from one of my friends, turned a 40-minute challenge into a 10-minute actual video. We posted that, people started to watch. A month later, I did another challenge. More people started watching the videos. Friends were like, oh yeah, that's freaking awesome. I cannot believe you can do that. If I could say there's any one thing that bothers me sometimes, is to call competitive eaters wasteful. I may eat a lot of food, but it's my one meal for the day. Obviously, it's not that healthy to eat 7,000 calories of fried breakfast foods, but doing it every now and then is not gonna do any kind of long-term health effects. The big trick is to keep up the exercise, the cardio, a little bit of the weightlifting. When you're fit, trim, feeling good, you're able to eat a lot more than when you're a lot heavier. Obviously, you can see there's a little bit there, but it's only gonna take about 2 or 3 months to get it all back. Before all my big tours, I always get my blood levels tested to make sure that my cholesterol's fine, blood pressure's doing great, and everything else is great, because obviously I'm not doing this to hurt myself. My first time traveling out of the United States was back in 2010. Before that, I never even really had a passport. Whenever anybody asks me what I do, I say I'm a professional eater, and people were like, what the hell does that even mean? The hardest part was deciding to just leave what I went to school for to focus full time on all this food challenge stuff. I really don't own anything anymore other than my camera gear, my piece of crap car that's sitting at home. All my stuff actually just fits in a small vehicle. I'm not really money driven. I've got some investors and I still live with them, my parents. Mom and Dad, they just want to see me happy, and I'm very happy doing all this different stuff, and that's kind of why they're helping financially right now. My sister, she's single. I'm obviously single. They just got a little bit of money stashed away for our weddings, and as far as I know, there's not really anybody that even likes me. So we got all this money that obviously isn't going to go to any weddings anytime soon.
Wonderful, thank you.
It's
Down
a
here.
double room?
It's a double room.
Nice.
Yeah. So that-
Ah, very nice. I'd say definitely when you're on a tour like this, in order to be able to do a challenge every day, not only do I have to drink a lot of water, but I have to drink a lot of fiber, or eat a lot of fiber too, and since I can't really have any other meals other than the food challenge, I supplement it with this thing that I got in the States, I brought it over here, called Super Colon Cleanse. It's basically just full of plant fibers and sterols and stuff like that, along with some natural laxatives, and just to make sure that my intestines and everything are empty, and then I can just fill it all up again with the new challenge that I do on that day. Look at how freaking awful that looks. It's just a whole bunch of just plant sterols just running through the water. It's gonna clear me out pretty good. That is so gross. Now it's finally time. We're gonna be heading into Wicked Waffle. I'm gonna be taking on their Wicked Waffle Challenge. I'm very excited because as I can already see, there's a whole lot of different posters advertising I'm gonna be there, and there's gonna be a lot of people watching, so it's gonna be a good time. Let's go on and head in. Harry?
Harry, yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, you too. Haven't eaten today, so now I get to see what kind of ice cream there is. Do we get to choose?
Yeah, what it is, you get to choose 2 scoops of each flavour. Obviously, if you let people choose 12 vanilla, it could make it...
It'll be a little bit easier on them?
Easier, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay. Ferrero Rocher, very delicious, but I don't know if I'd want to eat 2 massive scoops along with all the other stuff, so that would be more, once I finish, I'll get it for dessert. Today for the Wicked Waffle Challenge, I've got to eat 4 massive Belgian waffles, I've also got to eat 12 scoops of ice cream, all stacked, layered up in between all the waffles. So I'm really going to have a pretty simple strategy. In order to avoid brain freeze, I am going to be drinking some warm waters. I will also be using a really, really big spoon so I can get as much ice cream into my mouth as I can, and then chase it with the warm water. Hey, thank you, too.
Found out about Randy through YouTube, discovered one of his videos, which was this hot dog eating challenge. It was the biggest hot dog that I'd ever seen. Yeah, since watching that video, I was just hooked. It defies logic, the fact that he can eat all of that. He seems like you and I, a genuine person, and seeing his transformation from what he used to be like to the man mountain that he is now is just incredible. You've almost got a connection with the bloke.
I've known of him for a couple of years. I heard about the challenge through Facebook. I tried twice last year, completed it once and failed the first time. I saw Randy was coming down and thought I'd come down and have a go again.
This is going to be win number 248 throughout my life since 2010, and I'm going to be doing it the same way as I've done all the other ones. Win before you begin. I won this challenge before I even walked into the door, and that's because I trained, I strategized, and I'm about to dominate. Holy cow. Hey everybody, this is Randy Santel, Atlas with Atlas and Zeus Promotions and proud owner of foodchallenges.com. Very, very excited tonight. I'm here with my buddy Simon. We are in Portsmouth, England, down south of London at Wicked Waffle, taking on the Wicked Waffle Challenge. If we fail, it's 25 quid. But if we win, we'll get the meal free. I think we may even get t-shirts. We got 45 minutes. Let's get it started.
Go, Randy!
All these different families, these kids, all these people that have been watching all my videos, I'm not going to lose it in front of them. One challenge, there were probably 50 people there just cheering, Randy, 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 Randy. When it's like that, it's just like, I am not about to let these people down. Thank you, guys. It was nice to meet y'all. You too. Cheers, Randy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good night. Bye. There's a lot of things that I've sacrificed in order to go anywhere I need to go, do anything I need to do. There can't be any type of serious relationship involved. Spend a lot of time alone, which kind of sucks, but I've learned to cope and be able to be fine with that. I ended up making myself single, we'll call it that. Most of my friends that I went to high school and college with, they're all doing what society calls growing up. They've all got families and they've got babies along the way, and it was kind of pissing me off that every time I get on Facebook, somebody's getting engaged, somebody's doing this, having a baby, blah, 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 blah. So I ended up just, for myself, getting a ring, and it basically just says, married to my dreams. It can get lonely sometimes, but I mean, I've got my music and my career that I'm always working on. There are some days where something bad might happen, like at the end of every day, I'm really, really broke. Because, I mean, I've spent thousands and thousands, it's probably over 30 grand over the past couple years on all this different foodchallenges.com stuff, randysantel.com stuff, but at the end of the day, I would rather sleep in a frickin' gutter than ever really quit on giving up on my dreams. So they're gonna happen. It's not a question of really whether they are gonna happen. Once somebody gives me that call or that email and says, Randy, I think I really got something that we need to be doing, need you to be here. You don't even need to give me more than a few hours notice. I'll be there, I'll be packed up and ready to go. This is what my life is dedicated to. Hey everybody, this is Randy Santel, Atlas with Atlas and Zeus Promotions and proud owner of foodchallenges.com. Just want to remind you guys, if you're wanting to do a food challenge, never forget, win before you begin. Train, strategize, and dominate. Just like I do, you do those 3 things, you'll be able to too.
Weightlifting is my life. When you put your heart and soul into something, like it becomes your life. And so I want to be the best I can possibly be, and nothing's gonna stop me doing that. My name is Morgan King. I am an international competitive weightlifter. I actually started weightlifting, well, it's probably getting closer to 3 years now, but I became competitive about a year and a half into it. I came up really, really fast. Like when I went to nationals in 2013, no one knew really who I was, and I ended up winning, and I made the world team for my first competition, which is kind of unheard of, that's not really normal. In women's weightlifting, there's 7 different weight classes. I'm in the lightest weight class, which is 48 kilos, and that's 105.6 pounds. So the snatch is one fluid movement from ground to overhead, and you catch it in the bottom of your squat. My best lift is 83 kilos, so about 1.5 times my body weight. I've done that in training, and I've done 76 on the international stage. And so then our second movement is the clean and jerk, and that is technically 2 movements. So a clean, you pick it from the ground up, you get it to your shoulders, and then you squat it up. And then the jerk is from your shoulders, you drive it off your shoulders, and you're in a split jerk. So my feet actually split out away from my body. My best lift ever is 100 kilos, and in competition, my best is 96 internationally. That's officially double body weight, which is actually a really big deal because a lot of women don't necessarily get to a double body weight clean and jerk. In weightlifting, you have to know why you're doing these movements, and you have to be able to manipulate your body to get the results that you want. I mean, it comes down to like inches. If I'm finishing in the middle of my thigh as opposed to into my hip, there's gonna be significant different results in how I'm competing.
I'm gonna say probably like 59 today.
Oh,
Probably, yeah.
Oh.
No.
8 plus 7 means dinner was good.
Yeah, okay.
58.7?
Yeah, 57.
That's not bad.
Because they'll have an extra
So
study session.
you have 2 sessions today?
Study
97.
97 even. Yeah. About 0.4 kilos lighter. So.
Don't make any funny jokes that I'm fat.
After all the 1 million possible.
Yeah. In weightlifting, cutting is dropping weight, and cutting is a really big deal. It can get pretty stressful. I mean, remember my first cut, I actually almost blacked out, which is horrible. I mean, the crazy thing is you literally have to be 48 kilos for about 4 seconds. You know, the second you step off the scale, you can chug and eat and all of that. But it is funny when I am cutting like the month out, I start to make a list of like everything that I want to eat. And it's usually like sweet potato fries, Slurpees, burgers. At one point I had like Dairy Queen on there. And so you start to crave all these things that you just can't have. People are starting to realize that diet really does impact your training. Our lifting sessions are 2.5 hours. And so, I mean, 9 sessions a week. And if you don't eat relatively smart, you just feel so crappy. It really catches up to you. And now I am going to go home and cook breakfast. I think it's really, really important when you know what's in your food. And breakfast is a really big deal for me. I love breakfast. I love cooking it. I would probably eat it every meal if I could. I'm gonna just heat these up because I'm weird. And I don't like cold. I don't like it getting cold really fast. My boyfriend's a weightlifter. For him, I'll kind of try and do like double just to make myself feel better. I don't know if it's actually double. That's how I do my portions, is I'm like, well, I'm like half his size, so he should be eating twice as much as me. So inside of this is, I put a chicken sausage, which has a little bit of jalapeno in it, sweet potatoes, peppers, baby kale. We put it on a bed of spinach just to kind of get a little more greens in. Eggs, and then a tomatillo salsa on top. During training, I'll have a shake during practice, and I'll have some sort of like protein bar, kind of just something to like keep you like fat and protein to kind of keep you full for a while. So this is my protein shake. It's just a more muscle, so it has BCAAs in it as well. Just a little bit extra to help you recover. I always take Progenix Force, which is a pre-workout. It also has creatine and a little bit of whey protein in it. Not too bad, but it's just to help you kind of sustain so your muscles don't get as fatigued during training. Our training sessions are 2.5 hours long, so you kind of need something in between because that kind of cuts into my 2 to 3 hour window. I mean, we eat right after practice, so this is just kind of something in the middle to keep you kind of full. Come on. Come on, straight up. There you go. You did it. Today I'm doing all clean work. Yesterday I did snatch work, so each lift is one practice. I've had other backgrounds that have kind of helped me in weightlifting. I didn't just come in and I was already really good. Like, I put in a lot of work to get good. The strength was there. The first day I got into CrossFit, they had us do a max back squat, and I was doing triathlons at that point, and my max back squat was like 90 kilos, which is a pretty good weight for somebody that hasn't been training. My coach is Zygmunt Smalsers. He's also the International Team USA coach. It's been really, really awesome having him because he is a very technical coach and he expects a lot out of you. He's very in tune with all his lifters, and I think that's very important. He works with each individual athlete in their programming.
A little forward.
Forward?
I met Morgan, and immediately I noticed she looks like very promising. She has something what athlete needs, especially in weightlifting, good mind. She found something what is really good for her. Weightlifting is very beautiful. Excellent. Good, enough, good, beautiful.
Weightlifting is my life. When you put your heart and soul into something, all of your circles revolve around it. My roommate's a weightlifter, my good friends here are weightlifters, and I think when you have similar interests, you start to develop friendships and relationships with people that are going through the same thing. Like, it becomes your life. There's Pan American Games this year and then World. And so I want to be the best I can possibly be to be successful in my industry, in weightlifting. Like, I have this goal of what I want to do, and nothing's going to stop me doing that. Like, I'm going to put aside everything that I like to do just for fun because of this one goal. Keeping it simple is kind of my fuel. Eating really clean, eating vegetables, eating meat, and some sort of complex carbohydrate is easy. It takes the stress of eating out. I think that's the easiest way for somebody to be successful in weightlifting. Nutrition is a huge deal, and it hinders performance when you don't eat properly. Kind of just like in training, what you put in, you're gonna get out. And if you don't take care of your body, it's gonna eventually break down.
I'm supposed to get 75 grams of carbs with both dinners. So I mean that's a lot of carbohydrates.
In order to drop down to 48, I did like a 1,200 calorie diet for like 2.5 weeks. And supposedly like my resting metabolic rate was like 1,600. So I was at a 400 calorie deficit in a hard training cycle.
I had a terrible diet before I started doing this.
Hot dogs, sweet tea. This is like a confessional. Pizza, cookies.
I ate like a 3-year-old. Pretty much.
We all were there at like 24, I think. But I think just experimenting, like you start to realize what food works for you and what doesn't. So if you can really tune in to what you're eating, I think that helps a lot. What's the one thing you miss the most being on the diet?
Oreos.
Really?
Beer.
Beer?
Do miss beer.
God.
I mean, you could have beer during training.
That'd be terrible.
Right?
That'd be the best. What are you talking about? I'd never miss a jerk.
What you eat is very important for anyone. That's basically what you feel in your body. You know, you want to give it the best of the best. Depending on what the intake is, that's how your body's going to perform. And the way I see it is, my body is a top-level machine, and I have to take care of it and feeding it the right way. That way it can perform at the highest level, you know, and always finish strong. My name is Jesse Vargas. I'm a welterweight fighter. I'm 147 pounds. I'm the super lightweight WBA world champion, now fighting for the WBO welterweight championship. And my opponent is Timothy Bradley. And beating a name like Timothy Bradley will take me to another level and be considered one of the top welterweight champions.
Is there?
I was born in Los Angeles, California. I moved out to Las Vegas when I was about 5, 6 years old. I was always very energetic. My father liked for me to be involved in sports just to keep me occupied. Soccer, football, basketball, karate. And then I got introduced to boxing. I loved it. You know, you get hit once and everything, you have the control. You hit them back, you move out the way, you come back when you want. You know, it's just one-on-one action. You're in full control no matter what. So that's the reason why I love boxing. You know, the first day that I was in, it was my sport. And now we're here. I'm fighting for the WBO welterweight championship. And that's what I've dreamed of since then, since I was 8 years old.
You're gonna go up.
In my family, in my household, thankfully, food has always been there to this day, and thankfully, thank God. And they make delicious meals. I'm lucky, I'm blessed.
This is sweet potato, my fish. He like this fish, my. I'm always, when he's in camp, I cook like twice a week. And that's what I do, you know, I help him with the food. Yeah, this is my job. The rest my wife doing. I see his weight. He's 155, so that's good. I'm happy. I think we have like 9 years old. He started to go to the gym. I tried to him be a soccer player, but he don't like it.
It's all measured, you know what I mean? And right now I'm a few pounds over, so this will keep me down. During training camp, we all eat healthy. You know, it's actually interesting, you know. I start training camp just like the whole family switches off their diet. Now, if I were to eat this weekly, I would drop weight easily, but I would feel really light. Like, I'd be in the ring, and I'd feel like I could float like a butterfly. As thin I could be. Oh shit. I have a scale in my room. And whenever I'm not fighting, every now and then I'm not doing anything. So, I'm gonna check my weight, and that keeps me on check. This is gonna be funny, but I have to look good for my girlfriend. I gotta keep my look, so I'm gonna stay at a good weight. And that had a large part to do with it. I wanted to keep my figure. We are in Mount Charleston, Nevada. The reason we're up here is because of the high altitude. It's always very beneficial to train at high altitude, and once you get down to sea level, it's no comparison. That's really the point that we're here. We want to be the best fighter out there, and for that, we need to continue to study our craft. We need to get better every single day. And mentally, you're just thinking boxing for 2 months.
Another beautiful day.
Typical training day. As soon as we get up, you know what awaits you. You know that it's gonna be a hard day.
At the half-mile mark, I'll wave at you, honk at you, whatever, and then you pick it up a little bit, okay?
So right after stretching out, we're gonna run for a couple hours.
For the mountains, man, it's a nice place to train. It's a nice place just to get away. To me, it's like vacations. As soon as you get out and explore the view, it just automatically just calms you down, and you can just sit down anywhere and just be focused. Think about your goals. Think about what you want to accomplish. This is the best place to be.
What's up, baby? What's up?
So what we got?
We got a little omelet, a little toast, like you wanted. He's having an omelet, veggie omelet with a little bit of ham. He's a light eater. Sometimes he's hungrier in different days, but today, he ran good. He feels good, and just a light little meal. He'll eat again for his training session this afternoon. My personal philosophy and diet nutrition for fighters is very delicate. You definitely need balance. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and the right amount of carbs. Just mainly stay away from man-made foods. Just stay natural. Stay everything fresh. Whatever God gives us, let's eat that. It's all the fresh stuff. That's the best way to eat. We've been up here this is our second week. We got one more week left. And then after that, we go down to LA and get ready for the weigh-in. Well, every fight's important, but this is one of the most important fights of his career. It's for the title. We want to be successful, we want to win. And this is what it takes to become victorious in every way.
Time goes by so fast, man, especially up here. Most of the time, it's either we're fueling, which is where we're having our proteins, our carbs, we're giving the body what it needs to perform well in the runs and then training in the gym.
Jesse needs to be at 147 pounds by contract. If he fails to be at 147, then there's penalties, there's fines, and there's cancellation of fights, things like that.
Well, the weigh-in process, it's a very long process, just mentally and physically. You have to know where your weight is in the beginning of camp. Not only that, before. Say you're 10 pounds over, you have to make sure you know how much you're losing every week and make sure that it's coming off slowly but surely.
They have 8 weeks, 12 weeks, sometimes longer to lose the weight. Sometimes they don't make it on time. A fighter's a fighter, and that's all they do. And they have to make that weight to fight and to feed their families.
That's it. That's it. The life of a boxer. To lose weight, when it comes to the level that we're at, it's not easy for anyone, any fighter, because you got to drop down to the lowest weight possible. So you got to restrict yourself out of a lot of things. Fried chicken. Fried chicken, that's the one that gets me. So I try to stay away from it. You just want something, you want anything that you haven't had in the last 2 months, which is either a pizza, a chocolate bar, a ice cream. You basically want everything. It won't fit though. Your stomach is so small that I will have probably 3 bites from a pizza and I'm full, or less than half a burger and I'm already feeling a little sick just because my body's not used to it. That's when you know it's, that's when you know it's not the best food.
I believe I burn easily over 1,000 calories. That's 1 hamburger. So that means you eat a hamburger in about, say, 5 to 10 minutes. To burn it off, about over an hour. Work up a nice sweat, and we're ready to get the boxing game going.
Luego en Yale, ¿cómo se llama? Hizo la maestría y en Stanford el doctorado.
Eric Morales, he's a legend. He just retired recently, not too long ago, and he was known as one of the best, you know, and I brought him in as a trainer. He has helped me progress as a fighter, and everything's been working out great.
Es la primera vez que trabajamos en conjunto con Cecilio. Te voy a ser muy franco, de repente soy más de otro tipo de entrenamiento, soy más de otra manera de alimentarse. No te estoy diciendo que esté bien o esté mal, simplemente es diferente.
You know, you have 2 trainers here trying to help out to build a champion here. You got the old school, new school. You know, the old school, you got to man up and just train harder and harder and harder. And, you know, sometimes they do starvation, cut their foods off for a week or 2 and just ridiculous stories, but it's not healthy. I don't recommend that.
This sparring process, that's where we practice everything that we've been working on day in, day out. We practice certain punches, certain moves, and we also practice moves from our opponents. You know, we bring in professional boxers that are very similar in style to our opponent.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Right now, Jesse, you know, decided to not have any cameras, any video rolling right now. You know, this is one of the most important part of training camp because of the sparring.
There's a lot at risk, and it's a dangerous sport. You really want to take care of that. No one knows what your game plan is.
Sparring was very good. Jesse's looking good. He's looking sharp. He's fast. He's strong. I think for this weight, there's gonna be a good fight. I look forward to seeing him become champion. He's the pace server, space server, man. He's doing good, and you know, we're
Jesse's
proud
ready.
to help him out. And he's gonna be ready, and we're gonna say, you know what? We helped out Jesse become world champion. Boom!
4 fresh guys, back to back, back to back. Yeah. Can't ask for anything better, man.
Tough, man.
Yeah, you did a good job, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, around 55. Cool.
With cola?
Yeah.
You told me not to drink that water, dude.
Beautiful. Nice. Okay.
Wet socks, wet everything. It's not bad at all.
We don't play, dude.
Not bad. Everything under control.
We don't play.
That's all with wet clothes.
Easy now. Ay, cabrón.
I'm messing with you, man.
Cabrón.
Did you catch that on camera?
This motherfucker.
Cecilia Flores, panic attacks.
2 weeks before the fight, we already feel just anxious, man, to be in the ring, get it over with. Mentally, you've seen the fight over and over again. All the hard work has been put in. Now it's just about maintaining.
Dude, I can't wait for this fight, man. Can't wait.
We're on the court, Jess. We're on track, man. That's the good thing.
I'm gonna explode everything I've been working on, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be.
Back to work. I cut up an apple right before I came here, put it in a Ziploc bag. A little bit of spicy powder that I like to include. The Hispanic culture, I mean, we like that extra spice. I prefer 4 meals a day, but then again, we train very hard, so sometimes we don't have that much time because you also have to give your body time for it to digest the food. So sometimes it's 3 or 3.5, say, but that's where the fruits come in, you know? It's always good to have a meal right after a workout just to keep your metabolism, you know, going and speeding up. I have this. By the time I get home, you know, I'll get hungry again and I'll have a small meal once again.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. I'm very sorry.
We're in Los Angeles right now, and this is fight week. We're a couple days away. We got the weigh-in, which is next. You know, there's a lot of media stuff. There's a lot of public workouts, but the most important thing in my job is to make sure that he's right on weight on Friday night. Today he had a omelet. He had some toast. He had some coffee, and you know he's on weight. He's actually doing phenomenal. So I'm excited for him, and he's actually tripping out himself. So yeah, I mean he's feeling really good and very, very strong.
I'm in a better mood today now that I see everyone here to support me. Jesse, over here.
Usually the other way, no, he won't eat anything. Usually, you know, we just wait until the weigh-in, and he might drink a little bit if he needs to, but we're right on weight, so we just gotta wait after the weigh-in to have our meal.
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Can't wait. We're much closer now. I'm comfortable. I'm happy knowing that it's only a few days away, and a couple days away, and hey, we're just anxious to be inside that ring and show all the hard work that we have put in.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are going to weigh in our main event participants. They will be competing in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it will be for the interim WBO welterweight championship of the world.
Typically, if a fighter doesn't make weight, let's just say a fighter is overweight a pound or two, you know, usually they start working out. They'll do a sauna, or they'll put on plastics and move around, shadow box, or sometimes they just go to the restroom naturally, you know. Sometimes they get completely naked, and usually by taking off their underwear, you know, they'll make weight. But we don't have that problem with Jesse Vargas. Jesse's weight is perfect.
He is undefeated with 26 wins, 9 come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the current WBA super lightweight champion of the world, Jesse La Nueva Generación Vargas.
de categoría ahora en la división de peso welter. 146.4.
146.4. 146.4.
Que tuvimos que para aspirar a ganar una pelea tienes que tener un gran equipo. Y un gran equipo significa gente con conocimiento, armonía, la misma mentalidad, conversación, unión, y creo que todo eso hubo en este equipo. Por eso creo que Jesse tiene todo para ganar.
He's very, very focused for this fight, and he knows he wins this fight, which he will. He's going to the top.
Jesse, look right in the camera here, guys.
What am I gaining to win in this next fight? I'd say everything. You know, this is what I've dreamed of since I was 8 years old. I'm 26 now. I've had a lot of patience to bring me to this moment here. You know, day in, day out. I've dreamed of it. I've wanted it. I've pursued it, and now we're here. You know, I just have to win, and that's gonna take me that much closer to my ultimate goal and to realizing my dream.
Tre, due, uno. I love to fly so much. It's so natural to me. I feel so part of the environment, and I feel good when I'm there. It's just myself and the universe. My name is Roberta Mancino. I'm Italian, and I'm a skydiver and a stunt woman. So we are at Skydive Paris, and this is my home drop zone. It's where I jump every day, it's where I training all my skydives. I usually come here around 8:30 in the morning, and I leave about 6 p.m. It depends when is the sunset. It is very important what I eat every day because it makes my training easier. I think my diet is not very different from other athletes. It's just trying to eat healthy and proteins and not too much carbs and of course veggie and fruits. So for breakfast, I made some oatmeal with dry apples and dry pineapples. And then I put some honey and then syrup. Is really good for your immune system. I like a lighter breakfast when I work in skydiving because I don't like to feel really heavy in my stomach when I'm in the plane. The skydiving community here is really large community, and we have a lot of people, very young skydivers and very old skydivers. A long time ago, I saw a movie about skydiving, and they had this girl that she was dancing in the sky. And so I was dreaming about to do the same. I have been working a lot for commercials and stunt jobs for Marvel. There is lots of stunt works that we do in this drop zone for Hollywood movies. My training is to make as many skydives I can do in the day. When I also fly in the wind tunnel, I jump in the day and then I go to fly there at night. In the wind tunnel is a great place because you can practice everything. It's very, very similar. That's why everybody now is training in the wind tunnel for competitions, for stunt jobs, for just any other training that you can do. Here we can adjust the speed, so we can fly lower speed, higher speed. I describe my style of flying, very artistic and elegant. Feels amazing, and I get excited, you know. I feel happy and more energies after. I like to eat after training, and I made a pumpkin and mushroom soup. I eat small meals, many meals during the day. You burn lots of calories if you jump all day. It's stressful, so you want to keep your body have a lot of energy. I like that there are other women because, you know, we can share experience and we can jump together. And I think it's more fun sometimes, no?
Way more fun.
The guys only want to talk about how fast they fly, how cool is the jump that they did, right? I met Sequoia at the drop zone.
It was a baby bird.
Yeah.
And Roberta's like, you know, everybody in skydiving knows Roberta. So
I exercise almost every day, like 5 times a week. Feel the weights are good if you wingsuit.
It makes such a big difference to be strong shoulder-wise. Like I'll have to do a lot of pull-ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I'm not doing a lot of pull-ups, my shoulder strength is so weak. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm in the wingsuit, I'm like this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Not good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
I really love to eat, so once in a week I make Italian food just because I miss home.
One for the bowl, one for me.
Wait, what?
Busted. Sorry.
Annie's been base jumping since a long time. She was one of the first women I knew that she was a base jumper. And so I've been always wanted to know her. All my family is really healthy at home in Italy. I make almost everything from scratch, most of the food organic. Most of the people, they just chop the garlic and they put it in the middle of the tomatoes and the basil, but it doesn't taste as good. Yeah, you must like garlic if you do this. I grew up making different type of pasta. This is also kind of a workout. It's so heavy, this. This one is the one I like because she's vegetarian, but I eat more veggies than meat and fish, so I like this one.
Yeah, and
So you don't mind making it just vegetarian?
No, I'm not doing it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is ready. This is how you want it. This is gonna be so good.
I'm hungry. It smells
so
amazing too.
Smells good. It's good to have girls in our community. We are different, and we get to skydive together and cook together and exercise together.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yay.
Try this first.
Okay. I'll get this out of the way. Good?
Mm-hmm. The advice I give to people to be healthy, I think is very important to don't eat always the same things. Eat everything you like, but not too much.
It smells good. The whole neighborhood can smell it.
I feel by doing the stunts and the skydiving, I inspire lots of girls. I think it's a beautiful experience that you can share with other people. I love so much what I do that I'm not gonna stop.
I've been running since I was 5. I think one day I kind of believed maybe I can make the Olympic team. I can call myself an Olympian and no one can take that away from me. My name is Brenda Martinez and I am a U.S. track athlete. I have the same thing every single morning. My Americano coffee has no sugar in it, it's unsweetened almond milk. 1 packet of oatmeal with berries, half a banana, dairy-free yogurt with cinnamon powder on top, and then I do the sliced almonds. And I'll put more nuts in the oatmeal. So I'll do pecans and then chia seeds, coconut shavings, of course. Sometimes we'll do chocolate chips in there. Everything's pretty much low carb. 50 grams in the morning and then for lunch and then dinner as well. So about 150 a day. I don't think it's healthy to have those insulin spikes constantly, and so we're just mindful of the sugars basically, so the carbs. Carlos, he's my part-time coach. He's Coach Vijal's eyes since Coach Vijal's in Arizona, and yeah, we've made it work. You know, he's really good at separating husband-coach relationship. It's just been quite a journey with him. A lot of it's repetition, so just start my day every single morning, 6:37. Really just control my attitude. Just try to keep the mood light, make sure I'm eating enough, making sure that I'm happy before I leave the door. So we are in Big Bear Lake, California, and yeah, we're in snow right now. We're at altitude 6,700 feet. Our training philosophy is live high, train low. We have the ability to drop down to sea level within 50 minutes. It's a lot tougher up here just because It's harder to kind of catch your breath. So there's less oxygen up here. You just create more red blood cells. Right now I'm running about 70 to 80 miles a week. It's like the bulk of the training. Fingers crossed that there's hopefully an Olympic trials next year. Tropicali is probably one of our favorite spots on the mountain. We come almost every week. The food's amazing, lots of flavor, and they just never disappoint.
Oh,
hello.
Anna, Carlos, Otis, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Aloha, bros. Coming for the spicy Caribbean jerk chicken rostable?
Yes.
That's good.
You already know.
Keep it Big Bear spicy. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect. We'll call you guys up in just a few minutes, all right, guys?
Cool.
Good to see you guys, Brenda.
Thank you. Well, this is one of my favorite go-to ones, the Rostable. It's jerk chicken with bananas, bell peppers, and rice and beans. I get my protein and to the rice, the carbs, so that's gonna be my limit for the lunch part. It's super flavorful and super spicy, but I love that. I feel like I built up a tolerance because my great-grandma, she started losing her taste buds. And me growing up, her salsa just kept getting spicier and spicier.
Sure! Cinnamon-infused bananas! Cinnamon! My doggies, let's smoke it up!
Warm up a mile, and then we'll do some hard strides, and then we'll get into the workout. And I'll let you know what it is.
Okay. You know, he obviously wasn't my coach in the beginning. Carlos just said, you know what, I'm gonna put my running on the back burner, and we're gonna focus on you full time.
I ran in college, and I ran a little bit post-collegiately. My best marathon was the Santa Barbara Marathon, and I won that one. I ended up like winning $3,500. I'm like, yes, we got money to eat now, you know?
It was really hard because we didn't have a lot of support. I mean, yeah, I had my sponsors, but training-wise, it was so hard to get on a track. Constantly getting kicked off. We'd have to wait till the sun went down, and that's when we'd kind of jump the gate and do our workout at night with no lights, of course. Once I made the World Championship team in 2013, and I was fortunate enough to bring home a medal. People started giving me, you know, the keys to the track, and I think now that I can call myself an Olympian as well, now it's like, when can you come to our track? So it's definitely changed over time. It's a hyperbaric chamber. I definitely feel the difference just coming out of it. Up here, we're at 17% oxygen, whereas once I get in there, it's 95%. So you can imagine the benefits. Being a professional athlete, a lot of it's downtime, and you want to be recovering during that downtime. The more I can recover, then the more I can adapt to training and be ready for the next day. Come on.
Chase, you ready for dinner? Yeah, I don't think that I can remember the last time that we fed our babies dog food. Like tonight, they're gonna have chicken.
They're spoiled. Mexicans, we like to cook things in like lard. That's not good for you. You know, even we would use canola oil. You know, now I just use avocado oil. For me, it's just making those little switches. We're gonna make turkey enchiladas. I wanna make sure that the food that I'm eating is actually giving me energy and not making me feel down. Normally, it would be like the corn tortillas. I would soak those in oil, but I do like to soak it in hot green sauce. And then I just stuff whatever meat, cheese. I don't think I can give up cheese. I think I was a mouse in like my past life or something. If I ate pork, I could not get my heart rate to drop before I go to bed, and it would start to affect my sleeping pattern. I gave up pork years ago, and soon after that, we started giving up red meat. Now it's just chicken and fish for the most part, turkey here and there. If we're going into championship season where I'm starting to peak, that's kind of when I start to up my carbs. I think that's when you kind of get the full benefits. If you're eating carbs all the time, you're not getting any benefit. Healthy eating, I want to continue this even after I'm done running. I just want to be a good role model for my family and next generation.
They came out real good, huh?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Thanks for making them.
You're welcome. You know, every race is different. I always learn from them. A lot of it comes down to my mindset going in. Take care of the things that I can control, and everything else is just kind of secondary.
Right now I'm training for a rowing race across the Pacific Ocean. It's 2,500 miles or so to Hawaii. I've rowed across the Atlantic Ocean twice. Second time breaking the world record as the fastest four-man team to ever row across. This is a new beast for me. My name is Jason Caldwell, and I'm an adventurer. I do endurance adventure racing.
We're gonna roll all the way out because the tide's with us.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Just work to the plan.
Yeah, no problem.
Sounds good.
So here we are, a solid 8 months before the next row, but any time to be able to spend time on the water rowing is time well spent for sure.
The way I like to describe these types of races is you're on this 30-foot boat with 3 other people, and you're rowing for over a month.
It's a family out there that is going through a 30-day lifespan. You go through almost all the feelings and emotions that you do as a human being. And it's just beautiful, and it's what I love so much about rowing oceans.
You're rowing 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 24 hours a day throughout the entire crossing. While that is extremely difficult, it's everything else that you have to do that makes it hard.
There is no time when you're just standing, you don't get off the boat, sleep somewhere else. You have 2-hour windows that need to be taken up with doing things like repairing your body and sleeping. You're not interested in making these elaborate meals. So this is our kitchen right here. This is a stove that can boil water very quickly. We're gonna add in some freeze-dried meals and have ourselves a little breakfast. I'm hoping this little portion will earn me my own cooking show. 80% of our meals has to do with freeze-dried meals. This is where we get most of our calories, high in fat. Mac and cheese. Putting 3 of these packets down a day is pretty important. You're supplementing it with the rest of the stuff that I've got in my bag there. Nuts, granola, protein bars. These are all the things that kind of just help us get that other 20% of energy. The third portion is supplementation. Every day you break it open one of these packages, downing it with some food.
Sure. Thank you. That looks like mac and cheese.
It's not steak. I like mine better.
Yeah, likewise. Toddler.
Right there. Okay, now go in the front.
Just dig it out?
Either that or I back up and then plow through it.
I think you should, and I'll push.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're at one of my favorite places in Danville, Kanpai Poke. Frank takes care of me every time I'm in here. Today. Yeah, this is Dr. Ryan Lazarus. This is the guy who does all my nutrition for me. He's the one who makes Superman. He's the guy behind the cake. Going here, I've got everything I need. I've got sushi grade raw fish, crab, carrots, corn, cucumber, onions, edamame, some tofu, seaweed salad, all on a bed of rice. It's a little bit of everything. And the most important thing is it keeps me from making bad decisions later on in the day. Lunch is probably my favorite meal because usually I'm coming off of some kind of intermittent fasting. And since my first workout's usually at 5 a.m., I'm pretty hungry by the time lunch rolls around.
So this is an optimal meal because we can go and we can select exactly what's in front of us and pick our nutrition. Pick the colors of the rainbow, which are phytonutrients. 40,000 plus unique cellular information that builds up a resiliency in the machine that we know as Jason.
Food is information. It is information that your body is translating into things that it can use or things that it has to get rid of. And so you're training yourself to be able to rely on limited resources, but you need to balance that with actually getting stronger.
You guys are gonna have a great time.
I know. Kev put together a hard workout. I looked, I was like,
I read it, I'm
not
like,
cool.
I thought it was like for sure need a pre-workout for this.
You were in skinny jeans. You had
oh, yeah.
You had your hair combed. I go, oh, I gotta change.
I'm definitely gotta go home.
All right, ready? Go.
So what you're seeing here is cardiovascular pulmonary endurance, changing stations, functional movements, squatting, rowing, pushing. What we're trying to do is counteract a repetitive motion of upper body pulling and just trying to create a body and a physiology that is constantly confused. So when he gets on a boat, that muscle memory can kick in when he's just doing a repetitive motion.
Dude, I don't know why I picked that first.
That was a terrible idea.
It's either that you're going first or that after and then running.
Yeah. One of my rowing coaches once told me that you earn your medals during practices and you just go and pick them up in the races. You're basically doing the work now so you don't have to worry about later. This is right now where we're earning that crossing. All we have to do when we get to it in June is just simply cross it. So this is a ketogenic shake. It's like the ultimate recovery. And ideally, you want to be taking it within 40 minutes at the end of your workout. The chocolate's better than the vanilla.
A ketogenic type of diet is something that works for me because what it is, it's training your body to burn fat for fuel instead of carbs. I lost 40 pounds in the first race and a little over that in the second race. I mean, my family didn't even recognize me. But on the second row, even though I looked that emaciated, I felt really good. I came off that boat injury-free and still having as much, or at least a good amount of energy as I did when I started that race. These kinds of races take selflessness. What I loved about rowing is this camaraderie. There's no rugged individualism. One person can't win the race for you. So interdependent. Most of these things are done in teams. Even if you're rowing by yourself, there's a team component, the people that supported you. I like to look at healthy eating in 3 ways. It's what you put in your body, when you put it in your body, and how much you put in your body. Pick one of them and do it all the time. Then pick another one and do that one most of the time. And then that third one, do it when you can. It takes the burden off of being perfect. It does not have to be perfect, it just needs to be consistent.
Good food.
Thanks to you all very, very much.
Cheers to that.
Healthy eating is not restricting yourself to having no fun. Just give yourself a little grace. Surround yourself like you do with good friends and good people. You surround yourself with good food, and you're likelier to make better choices.
Dude, I taught myself something there. It's like, Jay, that makes a lot of sense.